Welcome to the Positively Star Wars Senate podcast. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi. May the Force be with you.
Looky, Senator. Decent Jedi arriving.
Let's make this our best show ever!
I will sign no treaty, Senator.
I am the Senate.
This is the way.
Hope you enjoy the program, everybody.
Hello, Star Wars fans, and welcome to Positive Star Wars Chat, because this is the Positively Star Wars Senate podcast, coming to you via the power of the Force and a little help from Skype. This is episode number 64, as recorded on the 6th of October 2024. But as ever, before we get going with the show, it's time for a little quick word from our sponsors of this episode.
Discover all new adventures, all the wonder, all the characters you love in the best-selling Star Wars novels. Thrill to these all-new adventures, true to the spirit that inspired us all. Read a Star Wars novel today, and let the Force be with you.
And thank you very much to our sponsors, keeping the lights on, food in the cupboard, wheels on the road, voice on the airwaves, and of course, D+ subscriptions going. But we need to meet fellow senators. First of all, my name is Stephen, the only British member of this crew over in good old England. But of course, the rest of my senators are from the great United States of America. I almost went into another pun then. So let's introduce you to. I know, not now though. Let's introduce you to them. And in Skype order, we have Ricky.
Hello.
Marie.
Hello.
Ryan.
Hello there.
And Ron.
Greetings and salutations, fellow senators, Chancellor.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody this fine afternoon in Old Blighty? Sun is out. I know the sun's out for you guys. It's probably a bit.
The tide is high.
Tide is high. This is going back to pre-show conversation. Yes, very good. Okay, so we are going to start with. I have got little quiz questions actually, but I'm going to leave them to the end. They're so simple that you don't really need to think about them for the whole of the show. But there will be a couple of little quick questions at the end. So tune in for that. But first of all, we're going to go round the table and see what everybody's been up to in Star Wars land these last almost 30 days since we last conversed. So over to you, Ricky.
Hello. Yeah, I've just been watching the prequels. I've watched Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones and Revenge of Sith in the past month. So on top of watching some episodes of Book of Boba Fett, and like I was telling you guys in the chat that Disney Plus added those streaming channels, and they don't have a Star Wars dedicated one, but they do have one called Hits and Heroes, and that one has been showing like Marvel movies, and it's been showing some Star Wars stuff. So I actually caught a couple episodes of Kenobi, which, I mean, it was kind of nice just being able just to like jump in mid-episode, mid-series, because usually, when you to rewatch the movies, it's really easy, just pop it on. But for like a series, you just like start from the beginning, and there's like 6 episodes, 7. But like, yeah, it was the episode with Vader and Obi-Wan where he's dragging people out of the houses and killing everybody. So that was fun to watch randomly. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, just been doing that and trying to get some hours in Outlaws. That game is super fun, but I get stuck sometimes and I stop playing. But but yeah, no, it's been pretty fun though. I feel like I'm progressing the story a little bit more, but I keep getting sidetracked with other things. And then what else happened? I started reading or listening to Beware the Nameless, because the audiobook finally came out for that one, for High Republic, which I was trying to get some reading in because it is Star Wars Reads Month in October. So that was another thing. I sent you guys the link, but yeah, every year they come out with in case people don't know, Star Wars Reads Month. There's every October. And StarWars.com. If you go on their website, then there's a link to a nice little packet that you can print out. And they have an excerpt from that Shatterpoint book, the Mace Windu one. And they also have some crafty things in there. They have some coloring pages that have like, so if you want to color pictures of nubs from the Young Jedi Adventures, there's some in there, and there's some mazes and stuff like that and word search. So it's a fun little thing. If you have kids, go print it out, and then you can, I used to, when my daughter used to be in a after school kind of thing, I printed out a bunch of packets one time and just gave them to the classroom, and all the kids got to color and do all the stuff. So trying to grow some Star Wars fans there. But yeah, that's pretty much been it. Just been playing Outlaws and rewatching some stuff. And I was watching some clips of actually when I was watching the Kenobi thing, and then Darth Vader started talking. It just reminded me that we lost James Earl Jones, earlier this month. So it was nice hearing his voice, as Darth Vader again for that show. I think they actually did use his voice because at the end it said Darth Vader was James Earl Jones and Hayden Christensen. So
I was rewatching. Oh, which one was it? Naked Gun film. It's 2 or 3, which has got in it as well. Didn't realise that. He's the one with the movie thing at that, where they're reading out the movie and stuff. He's one of the people who read out the winners to one of the awards and stuff. Didn't realise he was in it.
PSA, please be careful, kids, Googling Naked Gun. Leslie Nielsen or comedy when you also try to search for this. It's a parody movie on the lines of Airplane and the like.
Yes.
You really think kids are going to know what Airplane is?
Touche.
Also, another Star Wars person that passed was Robert Watts. I guess he was a producer on the OT. If you ever watch any of the behind the scenes documentaries, they show him quite a bit. So he also passed this week too. So yeah, it's sad. We're losing Star Wars people.
I'm afraid we're going to lose more before we're done here. Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, that's been it. Just been trying to enjoy some Star Wars and rewatching things, and yeah, we're good. Playing Outlaws.
I still haven't watched Outlaws. I mean, I'm watching. I'm not going to be playing it, of course. Only thing I've watched is apparently if you bought the Super Duper version, there's a bonus mission in it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
For the huts.
Yeah, I haven't got there yet.
Right. Yeah, I watched that, and literally that only took about 10 minutes to watch. Apparently, it's a really simple mission, but that's the bonus.
No spoilers. I haven't got to Tatooine yet. I fixed my hyperdrive.
Most people were saying it wasn't worth the extra, so that's what I saw online.
It's Star Wars. It's worth
it. Yeah. Exactly.
The thing about that game though, that like it's it's open world, but it is within Star Wars, so like you can't just like, I'm gonna go to Tatooine, I'm gonna go, like it's literally like real, like if you're in the world, like you can't just leave. Like I had to find a ship, and then I had to do all these things to get parts to fix the hyperdrive, and so then I was finally able to travel in space. So like it was fun. Like it was so satisfying being able to fix my hyperdrive and taking off.
I wonder if people need to get a license to fly. You never hear about that, do you?
Chain codes.
License to be able to fly your hyperspace and fly your ship, and then a special license to be able to do hyperspace. And
well, don't they have like codes or numbers that they have to tell when they go through checkpoints? Maybe, I don't know.
Well, that might just be identifiers of the ship. Identifiers for the ship. To his question of licensing to be able to fly or whatever. Yeah, I don't think we've seen any indication.
No one ever talks about that.
If you're a pilot,
I doubt Ray had a license. So.
Right, if you're a pilot or can understand how to fly the ship, you understand how to fly the ship.
Well, I mean, Luke was on a farm one day. The next day, he was in the military flying an important mission. So.
It's not great for teaching people to learn responsible.
I'm going to go with no. You think like of course you're asking about flying a ship, and Do you think the Jawas had a thing for their sandcrawler?
Yeah, funny enough,
they're not dealing with any bureaucracy.
They take this thing to missions.
Probably the only people who did have a license thing was probably the Imperials. Probably. You probably have to go through classes and pass a test before you go and find stuff.
When they stopped Luke and Obi-Wan and on Mos Eisley, they didn't ask him for license or registration or anything.
That's true.
They were just like, you seen these droids?
Are you a bit too young to be driving this? No, I didn't say that. Yeah, but take a drugs test. Can you walk in a straight line, or
Yeah. Sorry, when you get out of the car, you've had too much of the cantina.
Interesting. Just might be like Justin Timberlake sort of a thing.
Show the movie. Just want to start the film. Show the movie.
Moving on. Okay, Murray.
Oh, yeah. So let's see. I have been doing a rewatch of The Mandalorian along with some friends on another Discord server that I belong to, besides the Positively Star Wars one. What else have I been doing? So that's been interesting to kind of pick up on new things and talk about the stuff that I liked before and just kind of watching and again with a fresh set of eyes kind of thing. I'm really enjoying it so far because it was the one that kicked off, everything on Disney Plus, every Star Wars content on Disney Plus. So that's been fun. I'm still deciding what to pick up for Star Wars Reads month. I'm thinking I'm going to start Darth Plagueis because even though it's no longer canon, it's one of my favorite Star Wars books. There's more. I know there's more. I'm going blank. Oh my goodness.
Did you ever watch Andor?
Oh yeah, I did rewatch Andor too, but I thought that we talked about that last month. I rewatched it because I was gonna watch with a friend, and
well, it takes so long, so I thought you'd still watching it.
No, it's done, but yeah, he still has to catch up, so I'm waiting on him. So I guess I'm gonna have to rewatch it when he finally decides that he's going to get off his butt and rewatch it. And then I've been watching a friend of mine play Jedi Survivor and Hunters on Twitch. So I'm kind of living vicariously because if I played those games, I would die over and over and over and over. So I'm letting somebody else play because as has been proven, I'm horrible at video games. Like the one I am playing right now, which is not a Star.
When it comes to Star Wars Hunters, sometimes we just need real simple players that will just stand there and defend a target. Too many times people are like, well, I'm going to go do my own thing. And if I have a new player that I'm playing with, and I'm like, listen, I'm going to have you choose a tank, a real strong character with lots of defense and lots of offense. You're just going to stand here and defend this circle for as long as you can. And then you shout for me if things get in trouble, and I'll, fly in and hit from the outside. I'll try to capture other points. You defend this one. So it could be simple if people play together and know the simplicity of the rules. The problem is Star Wars Hunters, you can't talk openly to other players unless you create a Discord outside of that, and then you all just kind of talk on the Discord. So, but I guess it is a lot to learn, but you can just go in and start playing. It gives you like 12 free characters.
It's one of the funny things in Hunters. I know we'll get onto Hunters in a minute, but when you join it and it's a what's it called when the control point moves, whatever it is. It's a control point game basically, but as soon as it starts, everybody just starts. It's like young, like 5-year-old kids. They just start going after each other, and you've got somebody who hasn't even people who haven't even bothered to understand what kind of game you're playing, and they just go off and just keep shooting each other and stuff. And you, in the meantime, you're the only person bothering to go to any of the control points.
Or
you'll
another
be
good
sitting at a
strategy.
control point forever, and then some other person, like you've been guarding it and doing good, and then somebody shows up and they're just standing right next to you. Like, I'm like, okay, well, you stay here, and then I'll go to the other one. And then you see that your control point ended up changing because that person.
Or another good strategy is to just, if you're a new player, choose a healer. And you just follow around the two strongest characters. You just follow around a real strong character like Sentinel or K2 or something like that, or Chaos.
Don't heal the other players though, the other team, because I had somebody do that to me. I kept shooting them and they kept throwing.
Future version. I think they should have an option where, not force it on, but just a different option where you choose it and it's like, 2 tanks, 1 healer, and that's you have to you're randomly assigned to the right combination for that map, so you don't end up with 4 weak characters and that.
That is a
see, if all 4 of us play, there's 4. We can all strategize. So. You can make
yes, but I think it'd be nice though.
Download it, Marie.
Sometimes, as soon as you've gone into the game, it's like you've chosen your character as always a randomly assigned character. You look at it, you go, "We're stuffed." as soon as you're going into it, you just know that you've got the wrong draw.
They did add that option, and I believe it's called mashup. You know, it's a game mode you get to choose where it auto selects your characters.
Yes, I do them quite often. Yeah,
it gives you ones you don't even have.
I'm not sure it assigns it so that you end up with a fair variety of now, 2 tanks, 1 support, another healer, and that kind of stuff.
It does. Yeah, it does what it does though.
Does it?
They
changed that.
Yeah, it started doing it. I mean, again, it's still random what healer you get, and there's only 3 healers.
Yeah.
I like playing that because I got to play as Reeve, and I didn't even have her unlocked yet.
Yeah, no, that's why I choose it. I choose it because I wouldn't choose any of those other characters if I want for the random one.
Yeah, so they did.
I tank a few of them. Yeah.
They did balance matchup, so it was not just 4 tank people. It's more
right.
It's still random, but at least there's only like 2 tanks, a damage and a healer, and that's about it.
Right.
Okay, Marie, what else did you?
What else have I done? That's pretty much it.
Right. Okay.
Next month you can say you downloaded Hunters and played with us. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
if you really want to deal with that mess, okay.
I want to hear Ron say that one.
Yeah, mess times 2, Marie. Let's do it. We'll change their mind out. Yeah, no, let's get everybody to join. It'll be awesome. Yeah.
It'll be awesome. Yeah, no, okay, you guys aren't playing anymore.
You 2 noobs stand back there in the corner.
But we did do a messenger call with me, Steven, and Ryan one time. Yeah, it kind of worked out pretty good.
I think we won.
Yeah, there's 3 good ones. Okay, so then Marie and I can tag team in and out as we. All right, you're finished. Get out of here. Next up.
I'm probably better than I was when we did that first time round. I've got more used to controls and stuff now on the old iPad. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. We're moving on. Ryan.
All right. So Star Wars in this month, I had some purchases. So this past month, I bought, what was it? I bought a pop, Darth Malgus. Does anybody know what Darth Malgus is? From Legends.
What?
Yeah.
I kind of think it's Malgus, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it's Malgus, whatever it is.
Malgus
so I pronounce it like I pronounce it with like that low A. So
it's Mal.
Malgus. So, and I love those Old Republic books, and I believe he's from Deceived, if I'm not mistaken. And that's what was one of my favorite books, because it feels like it was just written as a movie. So I did buy a new pop, even though I'm kind of limiting my pop purchases. If it's a really cool pose, like an action pose or like a side screen character, then it usually piques my interest really high. There's some other ones like I think Darth Tara was in there too, but I know less about that character, so I didn't pick that one up. Although it was really close. I'm like, no, because it was buy one get one half off. I was like, I'd rather have this He-Man pop, so I bought He-Man and Darth Malgus. So, but I did buy a Darth Malgus pop, and then. I know I mentioned it in the PSW Facebook page that Star Wars Rivals Set 2 came out, and I haven't seen it in stores at all, and I found it this past month. So I decided to pick up a little box. It's like $5 for a character, and I usually only pick up the bad guys because they just look cooler. And I'm always hoping to get a character, but I don't know why, but I only ever seem to get super rare holographic characters. So I bought another one. And this is my second now holographic character, which is just all blue, So it's
I like the holographic ones.
So I just want a character to put on the shelf, and now I keep getting these hologram characters. So I got the first set. I bought I got Dooku. I bought another one, and I got Dooku again holograph. And then I bought this set, and I got a holograph Cad Bane, which I really wanted Cad Bane, but I got his holograph. And I'm like, gosh dang it. So I keep getting all these really strong characters when all I want are characters to put on my shelf. So, but yeah, that came out. I still haven't played. I'll have to have Ricky show me or something at some point, just because I can't find anyone to play it around here. So, but it looks neat, and I now have 3 characters.
I think we can play via Skype.
Yeah, I think so.
Touch each other. Yeah.
So I bought some more toys as usual. And then I was at a garage sale and I found the limited edition collector's Monopoly game for Star Wars, and from I can't remember exactly. I think it was '96 or something, where it has like the token characters is probably made out of asbestos or whatever, lead. And then I also found still in the box like 1991 Boba Fett and Yoda characters still sealed in a box at a garage sale. I got it all for like $10. This guy was obviously dumping his Star Wars collection because on his table he had a pile of Legends books and he had some toys and stuff I was going through. He had some big puzzles, but I thought the Star Wars game was really good because I love the tokens. It was like ships and Devastators instead of like houses. So the Star Wars game looks really fun.
Why he was getting rid of his Star Wars?
Only his spouse, I guess, was selling the stuff. So I couldn't find him at all. I couldn't find them at all.
That's probably why.
Otherwise,
he probably couldn't either.
Because I was like, hey, if he's looking for someone to talk Star Wars, I'm 2 blocks away. So I did tell them that. I do want to swing by and try to find him though. But yeah, I thought that was. So I did pick up some Star Wars stuff. Always building up my toy collection.
Ryan's gonna create an incident, a domestic incident or whatever. He was out golfing, had no idea that stuff was on the table. She's clearing it out. You're gonna come by and ask. He's like, "Oh yeah, let me find that stuff. I love this and I love that, honey. Where's that stuff? I can't find it." It's gonna be a whole thing. It'll be an episode or two there.
So, and then I finally got to play more Star Wars Unlimited, the TCG card game. And since I haven't been able to play set 2 since the pre-release, just because they've been having it at like 5 o'clock at night and it's an hour away. I still hate my local store. So I've been trying to push other stores to do it. Well, another one, 45 minutes the opposite direction for me. So it's actually closer than the usual Feisty Goblin. I found another one. They're just like, and I know it's a smaller store. It doesn't get like the same amount of traffic, but they just randomly threw together, hey, we're going to have Star Wars Unlimited. Anybody can show up if they want at 1 o'clock. And I was like, this is perfect. I knew it was going to be a low number of people. I knew it was a best of 1 tournament. So it wasn't going to be, like I said, some of the tournaments I went to, I was there for 6 or 7 hours. I knew it wasn't going to be long. So I did go there after I spent 3 weeks creating my Jabba the Hutt deck. I believe I touched on it on another episode where I don't know what it is about the Jabba deck, but I play Star Wars Unlimited for the thematic decks. So I don't try to build the strongest deck, and I don't like playing with super strong characters, aka meta characters like Boba and Sabine, because it just feels cheap to me. So I like synergy. So I build this Boba deck has characters that can be frozen in carbonite. It has a bunch of bounty hunters like Forlom and Zuckuss. It has Salacious Crumb as the sidekick. I have Jabba's Sarlacc. I have ATSTs and bombing runs. So it's just very thematic, and that's how I like building my decks. I don't like mixing.
It's boring when everybody has the same, meta decks.
Yeah. So I was happy to go there, and there was literally only 4 people, and I think 2 of them were related. Like one was a father-son. So I knew it wasn't going to take long. The prize, there was no entry fee, so it was free. So I wasn't going to get any booster packs out of it. But just for coming and playing, he was giving away the special weekly play black packs, which I know Ron knows about. So he was just giving those away for coming to show up. So we did play a tournament. I had my Jabba deck, and I'm thankful to say that nobody had a meta deck. Nobody played Boba. Nobody played Sabine. It was just like people testing their decks, and that's what I love. It's just a casual play. I'm not sweating like crazy, like trying to beat people and getting upset and stuff like that. It's just, hey, let's just play and we go. I ended up going 3-0 with my Jabba deck, so I was pretty happy with that. Not all the other decks were super strong. One of the guys was just a straight up, hey, I play this game because my son plays, a person probably a little older than me. And now he's just using a starter deck to come and practice because his son couldn't come play. And he won some packs, and he's just taking packs home to his kid. And I'm like, okay, great. So it took some explanation because obviously they're not as fluent as I usually am. But the other guy brought in a Fennec Shan deck which is like the worst deck in the game. But he's like, I just want to make it work, and that's what I appreciate about it. You bring in decks that you're not used to, and you just give them a shot. And that's why I just really wish my local store would get its act together and just try to get some games going. And now with Magic the Gathering totally imploding, I've been trying to sneak back into my store and put like a sign up. It's like, hey, you sick of Magic? Come learn Star Wars Unlimited, and maybe at least get 3 or 4 people in my town. But I just truly haven't had time, and I don't have a printer that works because I got sick of paying for ink that lasts, that I use once a year. So I was literally just gonna post a bunch of cards and thumbtack and tape them to a piece of paper with my number on it, just anything to try to get a group of people going. So I did have that tournament, so that was pretty fun just to go play Star Wars Unlimited again. And right after that, where is the text box?
So if anybody listening is in Ryan's area, you can join our Facebook group, and then you guys can set up some play there.
Yeah, because it could be like I said, it could be played. What is it? Over the voice call too. And I'll post here in the group chat. I did buy a few more things from Etsy and TCG Player. So I got. How do you get a camera on this thing? I don't know how to freaking use Skype, man. Screw it. I'm just gonna put it in our normal text group. It's much easier. So after I did the tournament, I realized, I want a lot more tokens. So I went to Etsy and I bought some tokens. So I bought shield tokens because I don't like using the cards. The back of the cards have shield and experience. So I bought shield tokens. I bought some more tokens as a reminder because Jabba the Hutt gives bounties to. We talked about this in other episodes, so I won't go too much into like how the game works. But he gives bounties to other characters, and when you kill that character, you collect its AKA bounty. But the problem is, I would collect it and then I would forget because I had no marker reminding me that I collected a bounty in that round. So I bought like a little bounty token, and I'm hoping I'm planning for the future. I'm hoping at some point I can at least get 3 or 4 people to play, and we can play the Twin Suns format, which is the 4-player format. So, and they have special tokens. Oh, and I won. He just gave me a free storage box. I won a Mando storage box, and a new token for the game. So I went and bought 2 more tokens in case I ever play Twin Suns again. I have to find people to play with. So, and I just for being like, it was a free event.
Yeah, those are cool.
He was just
I like those.
He was just giving me stuff. So I got probably for the black packs, for the special collect alternate art weekly pay packs, I probably got like 12 cards of the ones that I didn't have any. So I got 12 pretty much new cards that I really liked. And just to be nice, I bought some cards that were missing in my collection or that I wanted to build up other decks. So I ended up spending like $18 anyway. So he's just drawing people in to buy stuff. So I did buy a bunch more Star Wars Unlimited cards. Like I bought some Rey, I bought a Chewbacca that I wanted. Just some cards that were like $3 or $4. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just pile a bunch of them on. So I haven't been able to play for like almost a month, but I loved it. So I'm still happy the game is doing good. There's not a lot of people. Obviously, there's people still trying to build back up. But like I said, with the implosion of Magic the Gathering and all the drama they got going on right now, I'm hoping to pick some people up. But I really got to find time to get to my store and strike while the iron's hot.
Well, I told you before, like some of my brother-in-law and his friends, like they're big Magic fans, and like I showed them how to play Unlimited, and they're like, yeah, it's almost the same. So well, maybe you'll get some people moving over. So
yeah, you have to mention, and that actually happened. After the kind of tournament, there was other guys playing. We were just playing some pickup games. I brought my Leia deck, and I just trying to threw that together. I was like, hey, let's just play again. And this other guy's like, yeah, I play Magic, but he's like, I'm thinking about getting into the new Star Wars game. He's like, I'm just getting sick of Magic because of all the drama that I knew that was going on. And it's ridiculous stuff, but whatever. And so we started talking to him, and we're like, okay, well, what's your favorite characters? And he's like, well, General Grievous and I think and Maul. I was like, okay, well, guess what? Set 3 drops November 8th, and those are 2 new characters that are featured in that game. One of them, Grievous, is in a starter kit with Ahsoka. So you can just buy the starter kit. You have 2 characters ready to play, and you can learn type of thing. And he's like, okay, yeah, and then we kind of explained to him, it's like, you get Grievous, you get multiple leaders. He's like, well, what other leaders do they have? One of the guys that I played with had all of his leaders because he was just there playing with his son, and he threw them all out on the table. And the guy's like, "Okay, this looks." He's like, "I don't know a lot about Star Wars, but he's like, I know most of these people." So, and again, it's just one person at a time. And then after the tournament was over, the store guy's like, "You know what? I think I'll make Sundays at 1:00 Star Wars Unlimited time." I'm like, "Great! I won't be able to come every time because it's 45 minutes away, but at least I have a place that's a great time, 1 p.m. There's a big mall, so I can drop off the wife and family. It's a short play, maybe like 2 or 3 hours type of thing. And he's giving out play packs. So I'm like, okay, this is nice. It's not as stressful as big. I don't have to worry about just fighting the top decks. It's just a casual play to meet people. And so that's fun. But I mentioned that the third set comes out November 8th. So November 1st is the pre-release. So that Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the pre-release for Star Wars Unlimited Twilight of the Republic. And this is the one that's about Clone Wars. So I think it's catching people's attentions because it really evolves kind of around Attack of the Clones, where you have a lot of droid characters, you're just creating clones all over the boards. So it seems pretty fun. But they did announce something that people are kind of uneasy about, and I don't know if like Ron or Ricky or anybody's heard about it, but you know how there's booster packs, there's regular booster play packs. Well, they announced that they're getting collector packs. So starting with Twilight of the Republic, no, sorry, it's the next set. So November, December, January, February. So probably in the February or March set is called Jump to Lightspeed, I believe is the next set. And that's going to focus more on space play. Well, starting with that set, they're releasing collector boosters, which is just overpriced, harder to find pieces of cardboard that will be in a pack. Almost the entire pack will be foils, which I'm sure Ron will love because his need to collect. I don't think it'll be all new cards. There's almost no news on it except for it's coming. And the only thing is, like, those packs could run anywhere from $20 to $40 if you compare it to Magic. So that's like, it puts a lot of bad taste in people's mouths, like players. But collectors are like, okay, that you have more of a chance of getting rare cards. There's no news, so I don't think it'll have anything like the only place to find this card is in collector boosters. But Magic the Gathering sold like gangbusters by doing that exact same with Lord of the Rings, because they put the one ring in collector packs and it sold for $2 million when someone found it. So I'm hoping it doesn't go the way of the collector, but I can't deny that it brings money into the game by focusing on one part of fandoms where all they want to do is collect and not play. But I just don't want to spend $40, again, $20 to $40 on packs of cardboard.
So are they different packs, or are they like a set?
Different cards, you mean? Right. That was going to be my question. Was, are they, if they're cards that are only available in that pack, then you're chasing that pack. But if it's just the fancier versions of cards that exist, playable cards, well, that's only if you want the fancier version. Is it a concept that's in other CCGs? Is this collector pack thing? Okay, so it's not anything new they're trying. It's a thing they're emulating or replicating.
Is it like the Pokemon sets,
such as it is then?
Right. Right, well, like the Pokemon ones they buy that have like you can get the the fancy cards but then it comes with like additional packs in there.
See, I didn't. No, it's not a box. It's literally just selling individual packs. Obviously, you can buy a box, but Pokemon does like a lump sum where it's like 8 packs inside of a box, but Pokemon only sells one type of card. Magic the Gathering, they sell booster plays, they sell draft plays, they sell a couple other different it's gotten very weird over the past couple of years, and that's why a lot of Magic fans are getting upset because it's just getting too ridiculous. But then they sell something called collector boosters, which it's still the same cards play-wise. Excuse me. Still the same cards play-wise, but they might have alternate art. There'll be more foils. There'll be more hyperspace type of thing. It still plays this. They're all used for play, but instead of only one rare per pack, it might be 3 rares per pack.
Yeah, so it is different. While it's the same card in the playability, it is a different card because of the art and all that. So there's that aspect of the collectibleness that you can only get it in that pack. So that sounds like prize fodder to me. That it offers up the opportunity to some prizing aspect to winning tournaments or winning games at shops and stuff, whatever. That you get these collector packs as part of potential too. But we'll see what happens next year.
Yeah, it's just, and I will admit that when Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering came out, I did legitimately spend like $30 on 1 pack of cards. So just because it's the hype, and I hate to fall into it, but that's just what it is, man. And you hope to unwrap that 1 of 500 cards, or the Similarian ring, or this is all Lord of the Rings stuff.
If you
the
watch
Elvish rings, the Droidish rings.
Yeah, if you know Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, if that's any part of your upbringing, yeah, you're gonna. If I'd have known that existed, I would have bought a pack just to try to see if I got the one, that one card that exists out there. The odds are astronomical, but you want that golden ticket kind of thing. That's just human nature is gonna feed into I want to take that chance and see how exciting it is. So interesting to see if they could do. I don't know what could be in Star Wars that would be a one ring ticket type of thing, or a one ring card. What would be something super elusive like that? So that'd be interesting. It's just
there's no news how they're going to do it. So, and again, it's called serialized cards. So it might be 1 of 500, 1 of 1,000, 1 of 5,000, like serialized. Like only 5,000 of these exist.
Okay, so that would entice, yeah.
But there's no proof that they're doing that yet. So these are just examples of other collector boosters that other companies use. Mainly Magic, because it's the biggest one, like in the world.
We'll hash it out next year.
So yeah, we'll know next year as they release more information. Right now they're focusing on Twilight, which is really good. And I did have. And again, we can touch on some of these a little bit later, but since the game is coming out, it might be another podcast that we discuss them, or like a short one that we could fill in or do. But just to tease some of the leaders that are coming out, since we won't have another chance to talk about them unless we do a special episode with just like the 2 or 3 of us that play. And I won't go over any of the abilities, but if you guys didn't hear any of the so far announced leaders, they are Quinlan Voss is a leader, Jango Fett. General Grievous is part of the 2-player pack with Ahsoka Tano. Mace Windu is now a leader. Maul's a leader. Padme Amidala got a leader card. Count Dooku, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Newt Gunray. So they all got leader cards.
Newt Gunray.
Brett, it's like really thematically it fits. Like just for example, Newt is. Yeah, and then again, those are side characters that people don't really know about, and it's teaching people, kind of like Kira. Not when I played Set 2 pre-release, people couldn't even pronounce her name. He's like, "Who's this Kara girl?" And I'm like, "Did you not watch Solo? Like, come on, man."
Or play Outlaws.
Yeah. So, and again, that's the thing. You gotta remember, Star Wars are sometimes only the main movies, and that's about it. But so it's in Gar Saxon, he was only from the animated stuff. So Quinlan Voss is gonna bring attention to the thing, Newt Gunray, like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
I was Quinlan Voss for Halloween one year, and no one knew who I was.
So that looks good. Hopefully we can do that as it gets closer. A couple of us can gather together and go over them like we did last time. But those are some of the leaders coming out. So again, I stress to you guys to go to your local TCG comic book store. The stock just keeps getting better. Like there's still stock for Set 2. Set 3, my store announced, not my store, the Feisty Goblin announced there is no limit to boxes you can order. So if you want to order 5 boxes, there's no limit this time. They're not even doing a special pre-release where only X amount of people can get in. It's like we are able to get so much stock, you guys can just come in whenever you want and pick up whole crates if you want. So that's good. They're increasing their numbers for shipping. So again, I knew it would take some time because they didn't expect it to be so popular, but so we'll come back to Star Wars Unlimited maybe another episode. But yeah, I'm always excited for that thing, and just be prepared that the pre-release is November 1st. That's it for me.
Okay. Short and sweet. No, sorry. A bit longer than short. Okay. Excellent. Right. On to Ron.
Greetings, everyone. My bit of Star Wars has been a little light for me here this past time on it, but I did one thing of note. I stumbled across. I love a good clearance sale Target, whatever, and I stumbled across the Lego R2 set on the clearance rack. And Lego never goes clearance, and Star Wars Lego hardly ever goes clearance. So very excited to have picked that up for 30% off. Lego, anytime you find Lego 20-30% off, it's pretty much an instant buy. But any Star Wars Lego at that kind of price is definitely a must grab. So I was thrilled to kind of find that at a off the beaten path Target in my travels. Also picked up that Epic Heroes line that I think is exclusive to Walmart. I don't think I've seen it anywhere else. It's like a new 3 3/4 inch line. It's just doing like the main characters. They do have a lot of accessories. They're cool for kids.
I like that line.
Yeah, it's a cool line for kids, whatever. But I saw a new character, Moff Gideon, in a recent trip into a Walmart. I'm like, oh, I don't think I've seen him or have him yet, or whatever. And it's the Moff Gideon with the Maul DeLorean helmet with the
priced
horns
pretty
and
good.
Everything. Yeah, they're perfect to get kids involved and into it and in Star Wars because it's the characters they know, and they're stocked in they're only released, I don't know, however many characters, whatever, but the pegs seem to be like a peg of all Mandalorian and a peg of Grogu and a peg of Ahsoka and a peg of Vader. So there's plenty there for the kids and the families and the moms and dad that want to buy something, that it's not the one special character per case, and then it's a bunch of junky characters that just sit there and peg warm. So those are cool pickups that I had. I did get to do a little. I haven't been able to do nearly as much Star Wars Unlimited as Ryan has. I'm still playing catch up. Remember, I'm a noob to the whole thing, trying to collect or having fun. Not trying, but having fun with the collection aspect of it, plus learning the gameplay.
Ron,
I'm still
idea for your Halloween stuff this year. Just buy some packs and hand them out. And get some new players.
The kids would be like, "What is this?" Because if so you know what, Ricky, I would if it was available in Walmart, Target, the grocery store. If it was something like baseball card or like Star Wars cards back in the day where they were available everywhere, where I could get a kid potentially hooked on it, and then want to buy more at the store when they go with mom and dad or do good and their or grades or something like that. But because of the exclusive nature-ness of it, or that it's just
the elitist nature, Ron.
Elitist is that. It's just not Lorcana. It's just not Pokemon level fervor or out there type of thing yet, or whatever. That maybe some potential future Halloween trick or treat bit of fun. I guess I should be talking about that. Shoot, we won't have to talk about what I did afterwards. I haven't really picked much up. I got to use up my stash.
I'm pretty sure you have enough.
Yeah, no, trust me, brother. I need to be dealing with that because
the 100th trick or treater gets Ron's to sell barge.
The Ollie's fun last year when they cleared through stuff at this time frame or whatever, were those micro galaxy ships. I forget what the name of the line was, but some very cool. They were blowing through X-wings and TIE fighter, iconic. Every kid's gonna know them, want them, love them kind of ships or whatever. And those were maybe all of $5, like $4.99 for the ship with that little figure. It was a cool line. It really was. It just saturated. I don't know. Whatever happens, that the stores just burn through that stuff and say, okay, it's time to move on to the next thing. So they clear it all out at Ollie's. I picked up a lot of that stuff because that seemed like really cool trick or treat fodder.
I have a Falcon
for the ones that come in this year. The Slave 1 is there, and there's an interesting Black Series 2-pack that is at Ollie's. I forget who's in it now, whatever. They were chromiized versions of things. I don't know where it was ever released. I don't know if it was a GameStop exclusive or Amazon. I don't know what type of exclusive it was. I don't ever remember seeing any announcement or any information about it or whatever, but that's in the current sale flyer at the Ollie's that's happening now. And like I say, Boba Fett, the Slave 1 in that Micro Galaxy series line or whatever is being blown out at the stores. It's a bigger box than the X-Wing TIE fighters and the stuff that they had, but still cool ship for a great price. Definitely recommend anyone have an Ollie's nearby to pick that up. But that speaks to my yearly tradition of I love clearance. I love Star Wars, love clearance Star Wars, and really love super deluxe clearance Star Wars, that I'll pick a bunch of stuff up
If I'm ever in
And
Texas, I'll stop at Ollie's because we don't have any.
that's the closest one for you. Yeah, sorry. It's kind of an East Coast, just making its spreading out. But I think it started here on the East Coast. But I'll pick up a bunch of clearance. And if you show up trick or treating at my house, Halloween night or whatever trick or treat is in a Star Wars costume, I love to hook those kids up with a big giant handful of candy and then some sort of Star Wars trinket, something I've picked up on clearance that was being blown out for pennies on the dollar kind of thing, whatever, just to show my love of Star Wars, and it's always fun to see the kids' faces light up when it happens. The other kids that are there in Spider-Man and the Hulk or Iron Man saying, "Oh, I love Star Wars too," and it's like, yeah, nope, sorry, no soup for you. It's
not enough.
Not enough to dress up, right? It'll be interesting this year to see, with Star Wars not being in the mix, in the fray, really, really super popular with anything going on right now. If how many I get. I always bring out the big giant plastic tub that I keep for Halloween each year or whatever, thinking I'm going to blow through all this sort of stuff. And then I see like 2 kids in an off year like this. So it'd be interesting to see. I have combed the stores to see if there's Star Wars costumes, and there's still Mandalorian, Stormtrooper, those types of costumes. So hopefully we'll see a kid or two this trick or treat that it helps to keep the Star Wars alive.
Maybe you'll get a Yord.
The one thing with the Star Wars Unlimited, I was just dealing with set 1 or whatever. I have gotten some set 2, and I've got a set 2 box that I need to get with my nephew to get open because we're still sitting on those, whatever. But I have opened a box of my own or whatever, and have proof of concept and otherwise saw with my own eyes that box mapping is a thing, that where somebody, I don't know, enough data points, however any of that's figured out, but somebody figured out that when you open a pack, how many's in a pack, Ryan? 15 cards or however many cards is in a pack. Yeah. And it goes base, leader, and then a bunch of commons, uncommons, and then there's a slot, there's a position 14 or 13 or whatever, where there's either a legendary or a rare, a super hard to find sort of card, and then the very last slot is a foil version of any type of card. Anyway, there's mapping for that one slot, 13 or 14, where the legendary or rare card could sit, that if you open the packs of a box in a certain order and you see that card is Rey, and then the next pack you open up is Maul, and then the next pack you open up, you can find the list, and then you can pretty much predict what the next pack's going to be, the next pack's going to be, the next pack's going to be. And I did that with that list, and it pretty much checked out. It's an interesting concept, or it's an interesting bit of information. It's not really helping anyone get over on anything. If you're chasing a particular legendary card or rare card or something, if that open box has happened and they figured that out, they could go down to pack 22 and pull that out, and that'll have that card in it, and you don't stand a chance. So there's a little something to buy an open card packs from open boxes, but there's enough other chase cards and rare variants and hyperspace foils and all that other stuff that's in different positions, or that could be in any of the various different positions, that I don't know how much of it is really truly a thing. But it did give me a bit of an oog factor, a bit of a cringe factor with regards to buying open packs in a store, if it's if that box wasn't just freshly open, if it's quasi unscrupulous and somebody is opening the first 2 in the stores, opening the first 2 packs, figuring out the mapping, and then going to that one good pack and picking something out. But it's just a thing. I don't think it's a big deal, a big prevalent thing that happens, but I was just surprised to learn of it, and surprised that it worked. Surprised that it actually was a thing, that hopefully the card manufacturer figures out that we know it, or have figured out that that's a thing, and find some better way to randomize the randomizationness of cards in a pack, so that it's not a concern, it's not a thing. Other than that, that's a bit. I did catch the Star Wars Lego thing that I think we're going to get to chat about during this past month, and got to watch that and enjoy that. That was fun for what it is, and looking forward to talking about that. Other than that, I think that's about it for me and my bit of Star Warsing here this past go around.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. So what are we going to chat about next? Because we're going to do a bit Hunters. We're going to chat a bit about the Lego stuff. We're going to chat a bit about High Republic. Was there anything else?
Holiday special? No. Ewoks?
What? Oh, don't have time for it.
For anything else, we haven't got time for it.
That could be our Matt Damon bit. Yeah, we're going to talk about the holiday special.
No, I'm making Ryan watch it next month.
Oh,
we're all going to sit down. We're gonna have a Senate.
Yes, of course, yes.
Oh, we ran out of time this episode. Next episode, we'll talk about the holiday special.
I mean, we can just touch quick on Hunters. I mean, there's not a ton on it. I personally didn't play it a lot in the past week just because I've been so busy with other stuff. So, but I did play it some, and just for an announcement to some people, they did get a new character called Pillbush, which she is a Ewok riding a ATST. And I hear a lot of people say that she's really strong.
Yes.
I've practiced with her a couple times. She seems really neat, but the more competitive players have figured out a lot of things around it. But the game, I think, continues. They had a lot of really good balances every time they release a new season, which is, it was 8 weeks for a season, and they actually cut seasons down to 6 weeks now, which a lot of people are excited about because that just means more characters. And then the first character that you had to pay for, Aaron Tall, is now free. So that gives hope to people that if you don't want to spend $10 a month on a game buying a new character, if you wait 2 months, those characters will be free to unlock in game. So again, Star Wars Hunters, it's mainly on Play For Me on Switch, or if you have a special phone, you could play it. So
I just unlocked the Trandoshan.
Really? Jeez, man.
I was just getting ready to ask, right? That's the app game, but no, it's the app game, but it does have, you just said it. So the only console it can be played on is a Switch.
The Switch, yeah.
But a Switch and a phone user, but it's a super special or small limited set of phones that can do it, right? That's who can play with each other, is Switch users and phone users.
Or tablet, yeah, I guess tablet.
Or tablet. Okay, but it's not on any of the console. Yeah. It's not a console game.
Yeah, I play it on Switch. Steven's on a phone, and then Ryan is on the Switch.
Pick up a cheap Switch then.
Yeah.
So yeah, but overall, I think it's still a really fun game. I do spend, a couple dollars here and there. I just like, okay, I like this. I unlock some stuff. The skins are really cool. They did start like a new gambling mechanic, which I'm not a fan of. But again, if you're a mobile game, you almost have to have these to get income. So just be aware that it is a gambling mechanic where you buy crystals or earn crystals, which is much harder, and you use those crystals to choose a randomized spin on a board, and you have a chance of unlocking a really good outfit, like Reeve as the Ice Queen type of thing. So,
I did the first one because it was free, but I ain't gonna bother with the rest.
You do get 3 free spins, but then you have to use your own crystals, which are either very slowly earned in game. And even every time you click, a big warning appears on the screen that says you have a 0.2% chance of getting like the highest reward, just so you're aware. Like, so I do appreciate that, but if it's just kids clicking through, they will burn through a lot of stuff. Like I said, I'm not a fan of gambling mechanics, but it's unfortunately a part of life. My thing is to just not participate in it. And if people do participate, that's on them to spend money on it. But
I did use crystals to buy for J3DI the High Republic looking outfit that they had for a while.
I did too. I did. I got that one too. And if they have cheap skins for like $1 or $4 that comes with crystals, where you get crystals for free with it. I want the game to succeed. I want the game to succeed, so I'll throw some money here and there at it. And if this gambling thing helps help the game go longer, and people are suckers enough to do it, then that's fine. You scratch that gambling itch. The biggest boost in players would be just going to other consoles. I don't understand the limitations behind it, but hopefully it's something they could figure out, so the game can grow even bigger. Because there's lots of complaints that there's not enough players when you want a worldwide game, all playing at different times.
You go on the ranking option. It's about a minute to wait to get a team.
And it will fill.
I hardly bother with ranked anymore. I ain't got to sit here for a minute waiting to match with people, so I just do the other ones, which is quicker, 10 or 20 seconds.
And that's the weird thing about mobile games. Like, you have to release new content almost weekly because there's so much content in the world with games and people jumping back and forth that you have to get these things that create addiction. And, it's just like, well, hopefully Star Wars can just get more players by getting on consoles, because if it was on the console, I'd play with my kid. He'd play on the Xbox. I'd play on the Switch, type of thing.
Well, then if you can play on PC or anything, then you could get people on Twitch streaming it too, which would make it more popular. But it's kind of hard with the Switch,
So why has it started limited then? Why is it limited? What's the logic behind it?
I don't know. Maybe there's something with the cross-platforming and the capability of the other systems. Because PS5 and Xbox both have the ability for you to talk to other players, so Switch doesn't. So maybe that's why they're trying to.
Well, Nintendo doesn't. Like they don't want to do that because they know it's a more kid-friendly system, and they don't want your kid logging on and hearing all this bad language. And even though, you can, because I can use it to talk to you. Like when me and you played Fortnite. I'm pretty sure I used the voice unlock thing so I could talk to you and the family type of thing.
No, my daughter plays Fortnite on Switch, and you can totally talk.
So it's possible for sure, but Star Wars Hunters just doesn't do it yet. But they did have a new season. It's only 6 weeks long. The new character seems cool. I'm hoping to spend more time on it soon. It's just that life is hectic around this season.
I played this past week. I did the Hoth one a couple times, and the other.
I've totally changed my mind. I played it twice, couldn't stand it. Now I absolutely love Hoth. It's brilliant.
The Hoth or the game in general?
Oh, the Hoth. Yeah, just Hoth.
I do like the rotating
the Hoth map. Yeah, brilliant.
I got slaughtered in Hoth, and I haven't played since. I
think I don't. I've chosen whenever it's the Hoth map, I don't play as Gross because it's just so slow.
And then you can fall through the middle.
All stuff's happening elsewhere. It takes so long to get between control points and stuff like that, or catch up with people. You spend most of the time walking around trying to find something to do. Don't play Gross on the Hoth map. It's just pointless.
It's funny. Like when I first started playing, like when the first game came out, like you had to hurry up and pick what person you wanted to be because everyone had like just the basic. It was now like you can wait and be like, oh, who do I want to be? Because like everyone now has like so many characters unlocked that you don't run the risk too much of losing the character that you usually play as. So
I did go away and I got really excited, and I spent my money as soon as season 3 started, and I brought the not the super duper arena pass, but the cheaper arena pass. I can't remember the difference the name is. Yeah, so not the 20 quid one, but the 10 quid one. Yeah. So I unlocked Pillbush.
Yeah. How was it? Did you play with her?
Yeah. I'm getting a bit more into it. This is not the right thing to say, but I get a bit more into her. Her rockets are the most lethal bit. I mean, the rest of her moves, I don't seem to be as effective unless somebody's.
Was it a blaster and then the rockets, or what?
The rockets come out of the ATST and stuff.
So what's her weapons?
She's a run and gun character, so she can either run to escape, she could jump really high to get on really good vantage points. Her main weapon is launching grenades, and people have really figured out that you can bounce them off walls to go down hallways.
It's great. So, I just stand miles away and just keep knobbing them in and
and that's what her strategy. So she's not good at face-to-face confrontation because her weapons shoot. And so if you can get in her face, she's nothing. And then her special move is like launching just a whole, like a barrage. Like she launches a big grenade, and then it bounces to 3 different grenades, and they all detonate for big damage. And people have really figured out that she can escape quickly, find a heal by running, and get back into the outskirts of the battle just by launching grenades down hallways. And so it's like she's ended up being a pretty stout character.
Yeah, the thing with her special move is that as the other place, you kind of get an idea where they're going to be. So you can move quickly from where.
If you're playing control,
done an ultimate, you can get out of the way.
If you're playing control and you're guarding a circle, like, could you sit there in the middle and just keep throwing grenades around you, and then?
Well, you've got to reload every so often. She's slow to reload, so you can go back 2 seconds where you haven't got.
Because like with Diego, I throw down the mines on the floor, so when people try to run up to the circle, they blow up.
Yes,
that's pretty much the only thing I can do with him. And so I was just wondering if you could just throw bombs out,
She doesn't really have any knockback type of thing, like Diego does with the bomb. But Diego and Pillbush are both support, almost like characters, where they play from the outskirts. Like Diego should be sitting on top of a ledge, which I hate. I hate Diego. So he should be sitting on top of a ledge, shooting down at the circle, shooting down at the circle as like a tank character like Sentinel or Chaos or something like that. Sits in there, they guard the circle, they give heavy damage, and then you just get sniped from the side with Diego or get a grenade thrown at your back with Pillbush. So yeah, they're almost like not support as in healers, but support as in I got your back from the outside. They won't see me coming. And I think it's a play style. I'm hoping for more healers because my strongest character in the game is a healer. So I do play her
almost
ranked.
always play with J3DI now. All the time. That's
Really?
my go-to. Yeah.
If I'm doing ranked, I play not Reeve, Xana. I always play with Xana the healer.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Hunters. Again, people check it out.
I went through one game. I'm not sure it happens very often. I went through one game and didn't die once. Not sure how often that happens. I think they should have a little bit of a special, a little special bonus stuff you managed to get through some of these.
Yeah, like a survivor medal. Like a survivor medal. That would be nice.
I was playing this one game and it was one of the ones where you just, you have to kill 25 people. This person killed 16. I'm like, how did they do that? Like, how is that even possible? I didn't
probably
check to see what players they were.
Reeve,
probably. Reeve always kills me all the time.
She comes from nowhere, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Absolutely no defense and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I enjoy the random match shots because for the reason you said earlier that
it's nice.
I just wouldn't choose some of those characters. Otherwise.
If you just want to jump in and play a video game real quick, it's nice to just jump in and then do a match real quick and it's over, and then you can go to do dishes or something. It's really easy to jump in.
But like just play like a 5-minute round. It's nice.
Fortnite, you're gonna lose at least 20 minutes. But you can just jump in and play real quick for 10 minutes, Hunters, and jump back out. I just wish they would clear up the menu because it's so like seizure inducing.
You get used to it, but there is a ton of information on that home menu.
And it keeps wanting you to buy stuff. Like it's like pop-ups.
Well, that's when you first load it. The first 2 pop-ups, aren't they? Basically, just trying to get you to buy stuff.
Well, on the Switch, no matter what menu you go into, it keeps popping up like buy the pass. Like you switch to a different menu, and then you have to push B to go back. So
on the iPad, you only get 2 pop-ups when you first load it.
No, it's like whatever menu you go into. When you try to like do your coins, whatever, and unlock your things, it still pops it up like buy the pass. I'm like, why? Is
really? I usually buy the pass on day 1, so I never noticed that. Yeah, but wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no matter what menu, it got worse this season. I noticed, like it kept happening every time I would try to go into a different menu. It would take me back to the main one, and then do like, here's the pass, and here's a picture of Pillbush. I'm like, I kind of hate her now because I just keep seeing her face.
You don't see her that often, I have to say.
Well, because you guys buy the pass.
But when I know that, but I mean, when we had the other previous seasons and people had to buy a character, you would see them all over the place, especially Chaos.
I think there's like so many now.
But with Pillbush, I don't see very many other people with her. Not like with Chaos, it seems to be like everywhere.
Well, that's an Ewok.
Yeah.
I would think the K2 droid is more popular. So.
Yeah, probably. But no, I still I go through a little bit of I still play it every day. I still make sure I play at least 3 games every day because then you stand a chance of completing the daily challenges.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, like the daily task, you can build up a lot of XP and stuff like that really quick. So, might be 20 minutes to complete that, and you can go about your business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've got I've got 60,000 coins now. I still don't know what to do with them.
they have skins and stuff.
I know you say that, but I get skins anyway naturally through what I call powering up stuff. Power people up, and you get skin here and that skin there and that kind of stuff, and you get them for completing challenges and that kind of stuff. So I never really. I think I brought 1 skin. Which skin did I brought? Oh, I brought the Dark Trooper one.
Oh, that one's good.
Yeah, I did buy that one. But I got him in the snow. Is it a snow thing? I'm not sure what. Not Mud Trooper thing. It's not. I don't know, what is it? What is that one? I don't know what it is. It's sort of
I think
white.
they do have like
white and a bit red as well. It's not a snow trooper. It's not a mud trooper. It's sort of like a bit in between or something.
Is it like Ryan's helmet?
Yeah, a bit like that. Well, not quite like that. No, not like
no.
that.
He's
Not
wearing
that-
like a
not that
big.
one.
He's wearing a big like fluffy coat, ain't he?
Yeah, some sort of coat and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like the Hoth skin because like the
Like a
season kind
Empty
of takes
Nest
place
kind of thing?
No,
in the
I've never
cold.
seen on screen or anything like that before. It's just a yeah. And there's a lot. I'm sure there's a lot more. Not more, but I'm sure there's more.
So is it canon?
More voices and stuff. I'm pretty sure. I'm not remembering the Ewok one since season 3. When you go on the Ewok map in season 3, I don't remember the what you hear the Ewoks chanting at the start, woo, 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 sort of thing.
Oh, jeez, I don't know.
No, I get that at the start of the Ewok map. I'm sure there's I'm sure there's subtle changes on each map slightly.
But like you were asking, Ricky, you said it's a canon. Technically, it kind of is, although there is some ridiculous to it because Reeve is a Force user that has a lightsaber, and they knock each other down. But the reason they don't die per se is because they have magical tape that heals them, type of thing. So it is kind of ridiculous. It would have been easier and more believable if they would have just said, "Oh, this is a lightsaber, but it's permanently set on stun," like a youngling saber type of thing. She still blocks blaster bolts, but she's not lopping arms off. But no, it's like, we'll give you magical tape, and I'm like, this is dumb. But it takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
so that's why it has former. So I do like that aspect. It is pretty much WWE in Star Wars, where people create characters and they have these big battles for TV type of thing. So I liked that idea. So for me, it still relatively fits kind of loosely, and I'm like, it's fine enough to fit in canon type of thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think it's cool. It's still got a long. I mean, we know this is season 4. Do we know how many seasons they're going to be? They haven't really said, have they? In terms
Unlimited
of long
season.
term.
Yeah, they're going to keep going, I assume, as far as they can, as long as they're
I don't
making
even know
money.
what season Fortnite's on right now, but it's still going. So
You go on.
maybe this game
I
will
know,
be
I know
the same.
you're in the Hunters Reddit, Ryan. I've seen you posting there a few times. But you get all these people posting, "The game's dead. Game's dead. I've had enough. The
Yeah.
game's dead. I've had it."
That's because you got people that were playing for like 3
Let us
years,
enjoy it.
already before we even got it. So
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's been for
it
2
was going
years.
for about a year, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was worldwide in other countries, and then we didn't get it here till this year. So
I've only been announcing it every January. Like, where the
But
hell
it
is
was
this
out.
game?
it was out, but not for us though. Yeah. So those people probably say it's dead.
Yeah. If you've got if you're a bit like me, you've got a bit of an itch every day. You've got 5 minutes, 10 minutes here. Here's
They say that for
spare,
every
and,
game, though,
you feel like
Steven.
going around killing a few things and do it recreationally on your iPad. Don't go around the streets and stuff.
That's just a
Well-
common game thing. They say Minecraft's dead and Fortnite's dead. They're not. People are playing. People are playing on.
Right?
Yeah, it's every game.
I actually saw speaking of Minecraft. I saw some random advert came up on one of my social media apps. So you can buy the a physical version of Minecraft, and you make. I'm not sure you get the bricks, or you make them out of cardboard, and you start building Minecraft worlds with these physical bricks and stuff.
Like Legos, or was it just cardboard?
Yeah, a bit like a Lego sort of, just Lego, but not they don't fit together so much. You just build things up like a Minecraft world in I have to find it again, but just Google some stuff. There's some stuff out there. I'm not sure if it's licensed or not.
Well,
Anyhow.
speaking of Lego,
Speaking of Lego, yes, that's one of the best unintentional segues I've ever done. We had the Lego. Oh God, I've forgotten it. Tell me what it was.
speaking of
again.
building,
Speaking of
Rebuild the Star Wars
Rebuild the
Lego.
galaxy.
Rebuild the galaxy.
How long ago was that now? A couple weeks? 4 weeks?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
and
been a couple
unfortunately,
weeks.
I didn't rewatch it before this. But the initial watch, I truly, really did enjoy the show. So I think this was just a great produced show. I mean, this is coming from a person who has been very verbal that the Lego shows aren't for me. I'm never going to say something's like just not good, but they're just weren't for me. I didn't really enjoy the comedy. I didn't enjoy the story. It didn't kind of feel like So it was like an outside of Star Wars things where, again, I'm more focused on stories that fit in universe, and this almost fits sort of in universe type of thing. So
Honestly, if you guys wouldn't have like talked it up after watching it, so I probably would not have watched it because I was turned off by the trailer and the Star Wars jokes and making fun of it. But it wasn't even like that, so I was glad. So yeah.
I mean, I'm a bit like Ryan. I've not really spent any time with the Lego stuff because it's not canon, don't care sort of thing.
That's funny.
But I did watch the Christmas one. That I think it's the first one I watched all the way through the Christmas one. And then this, I was because it works because it's so stupid and so unlikely to happen, and it's not like it's in canon and then making things look stupid. It's a completely you can see it separate to, and it's a bit of a what if. Some people saying it a bit of a what if.
Yeah.
Things happen. I thought it was quite good. And as I said earlier, pre-show, actually the finale I actually found exciting.
Yeah, because if it was canon, it would be that the Star Wars that we know is dead, right? Because and we're going to obviously touch on spoilers on it, but if you haven't seen it, just really go see it. It's even if you're still young at heart and you're just looking for something fun, it's good. Like the sound development was good, the jokes were good. I felt like it had a real story. So you can kind of connect with the character. Again, it's based around Lego, so it's kind of silly, but it was an in-depth story, and I was like, okay, this is really fun.
Had, like, there was heart to the story too. Like it was a a good story.
The story's what caught me. It was Lego. It was like you said. It was well done. It looks good visually there. The sound's all there. But it had a fun, entertaining in Star Wars universe, and the characters we know, and poking fun and Easter egg type of jokes and nods and unique plays on characters being good guy, bad guys. That it was a fun story, an entertaining bit of Star Wars that worked just fine for what it is. Doesn't need to be canon or be any part of anything bigger than what it is. It's the Lego universe that has its fun, tongue-in-cheek aspect to the Star Wars universe that we know and love. And I would think would really sort of part of it got a little deep. I don't know. The first parts of it seemed to be good for kids, and then it got really kind of into it story-wise. But the Lego mashup aspect, the TIE X-wing, the X-wing, the Luke's land speeder is able to
Falcon.
Is able to fly through space, right? The Dark Falcon and all that. That stuff's going to get eaten up by Lego. The kids that absolutely love Lego and enjoy Star Wars are going to, and then the collector's going to love that stuff too.
Man.
I found that stuff to be neat.
If I see that C-3PO jet fighter, the all gold one, for $60, I'm buying it. Like that was really cool.
Same here. That was one of my favorite things about the show.
The creepiest thing to me was the AT-AT legged sandcrawler. That just was weird looking. That one, but then it flew. It had engines in its feet that it was able to fly. Hamill lending his voice and having some great lines and all of that was so much fun. That definitely recommend. You should watch it just to enjoy some Star Wars and enjoy some of the Easter eggs and jokes that were a part of it all.
And if people haven't seen it, just like a real quick notes, it's a kid in our known Star Wars galaxy finds a temple. The temple has a magic Lego brick that if you pull the piece out, it collapses the galaxy and rebuilds it completely, and there's no going back. So the kid lost his family. Only he remembers what happened because he was in the temple at the time with Jedi Bob, who's played by Bobby Moynihan, who I believe is Bobby Moynihan, who I loved him from like SNL. So he does that, and then he just has to accept that his brother turned evil and he's trying to turn him good, and that's the heart of the story. And then all the Easter eggs, like we talked about, like C-3PO is now evil and he has a golden chip. There's a Dark Falcon, Dark Ray, Darth Jar Jar. All this, it's just silly weirdness with lots of Star Wars Easter eggs where you're like, hey, that's kind of cool that it's a X-Wing TIE fighter and all these evil people are there. And then they and I don't remember how it ended. Did they rebuild the galaxy again?
Bounty hunting Ewoks. No, that was weird. I thought that for sure that's where it was going to go. He's going to replace it and all was going to be set back to the way it needs to be. But no, it was like, nope, this is now
there was a
Galaxy.
Landomandian. Landalorian.
Oh my God.
Mandalorian.
We're going to save that to the
forgot
end.
about
But yes,
that.
this
That
is the
was-
way.
that's
Yeah,
how
you
it
get a
ended.
It really
Lando.
was a great cliffhanger, considering that everything's completely screwed up, and you've already seen about every mismatch you probably think you could have seen. That was really a good cliffhanger.
And then you have the Landalorian, and it's just like that was just made me smile, and I'm like, that was fun, man. That's just silly and great to see.
Yeah, I had fun with the Ewok bounty hunters and that whatever their ships were, and the way they made the Ewoks talk. They didn't talk, obviously. It was Ewok-ese, but the expression on the Lego Ewok characters' faces or whatever was it was so entertaining to see that sort of stuff, and all the characters that we know and love in different contexts, in different ways of doing their things.
Clone troopers, wasn't it?
Akbar was the troopers.
I'm not sure was it supposed to be Akbar. Was
it was
supposed to be among Tamarians were all
Akbar, because they're all saying it's a trap. It's a trap.
Yeah,
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Akbar was the template for the clones.
Leia and Greedo, because Greedo took a shot first. I love that line. I thought that was. I mean, there's a lot of clever. The Star Wars love that goes into what the writers create and tweaking things like that. That in this universe, Leia and Greedo are an item because as the Han character says, well, Greedo took his shot first, so it's just. Some very good play on all the Star Wars tropes and lines and things that we know and love. The Landalorian says this is the way when they're hunting him down or something. I love Jedi Bob. There's a scene in there where Jedi Bob explains this whole cornerstone thing and how it works to the kid protagonist, whatever, that Jedi Bob did the same thing. He messed with it and it messed up his universe. And again, I'm going to date myself. It showed a flashback to Jedi Bob rebuilding, force building, they called it, his universe. And it showed old school Lego pieces, the old school trees, the old school Lego bricks, the old school
his
green
yellow face
stuff.
It's
was
very
his yellow
simple.
face, exactly. It was very simple and had a bit of a wash over the cinematography aspect of it, that it instantly took me back to my Lego childhood of Lego pieces that I remember playing with that are now so much more stylized, and the trees are amazing. They look legit, whereas the trees we had back in the day, they were Lego trees, and that's how when we were happy to play with them. They were cool. They made trees in our area, but that little scene, it's all of 5 seconds if it's that long, but that was so worth it in terms of just the attention to the detail and the way they sort of, in my universe, Jedi Bob's universe, two ago, it was the old school Legos. It's very well done. Kudos to everyone that put their time and energy into it. And there's a drop in there somewhere. I'm gonna have to get it and put it on my keyboard or something or whatever, because Jedi Bob keeps saying something about stop calling me old or something like that. I was going to use that as my tagline.
So how are they going to resolve it? Is what I was thinking. But yeah, go on.
Or the Jedi Council. I liked the.
Oh yes.
Had Palpatine and white suit Vader, which is like a design for Vader, like originally, where it's
supposed to be
it's just like a plain. Yeah, so it's like he had the white Vader suit. They had Jedi Lobot, Jedi Campaign.
Yes, I was going to point out one of them was Lobot in there, and is the other one Dooku, the other old guy that's
it was Dooku.
He doesn't say anything or doesn't have much action, but there was a Jedi Lobot. I thought that was
Jedi IG-88, Jana, and not Boba, but shoot. It's
wasn't there a hut?
Jabba. Jabba was the other one.
Yeah, Jabba was the other. But how about Leia's special friend that came in to help rescue everybody? There's a Darth Maul that's a good guy and just so chipper and cheery, and just the affectations on his voice and his mannerisms or whatever are so the opposite of Maul and his dark broodiness, that it's such a great play on that character, a fun little twist of part of the universe that was entertaining to watch as well.
I want to say it was still Sam Witwer talking for him.
Oh, you think so? That would have been awesome. I
believe it was.
I wish I was good at that.
I think it was.
To look at the credits and stuff, whatever. But I would hope so. Luke lent his. Everybody's Luke. Hamill, I think, is lending his voice. Yeah, it'd be cool to get the real people to be lending their voices to this Lego thing to help it in kids' mind. I kind of always hated video games and stuff like that where, it was Leia the character, but it was clearly, they didn't even try voice-wise to get talent that was even close. It was just like, ew, no, what is this? So, yeah.
I posted a couple YouTube videos in the side chat there. Like, I guess these came out a couple months ago, but yeah, they're like little clips that relate to the show. So, yeah.
I wonder what.
And shout out to Servo.
Love Servo. Love Servo.
I loved him. He was my favorite character.
Especially once he gets his voice box.
Exactly.
He comes in one of the Lego sets that came out afterwards. You can have him.
I wonder what certain fractions of the fandom menace are saying out there about it. I haven't heard anything about it. I suppose because it's not canon, people don't care as much.
Like, you gotta find that guy at your comic store that like the Darth Jar Jar.
Oh, believe me, I'm hoping to run into that guy.
That was just funny because then he's like, "That's ridiculous." Didn't they say that or something?
No, Darth Jar.
I will never watch Star Wars again until Darth Jar Jar returns, and I'm like, that idea is dumb, dude. And then here he is in like an animated Lego show, and I'm just gonna come running back to him.
He's like, Darth Jar Jar, that's ridiculous.
Well, is this the first? Again, not canonized, but is this the first iteration of actually seeing a Nerf being herded?
See, I was gonna say the same thing. I was like, that's what a Nerf looks like. So I don't know if it's gonna be old files or what.
I don't know. Maybe a comic. We need a comic goober. I don't know. Maybe they've been in a comic, but I seem to
show them in a movie before.
No,
I've never seen a Nerf before.
Yeah. I seem to think this might have been the first. It's kind of like the Bothans or Manny Bothans.
Gundark.
So anyway,
I'm trying to type in Star Wars Nerf and I just get a bunch of guns.
Good tweak or a good little bit of fun with the Jedi Bob and his being an old Lego piece or whatever. His like paint's fading off.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it's just a good mashup of Lego and Star Wars. It was fun.
When's season 2 then? Do we know?
Is it
no,
supposed
no
to?
talk.
I mean, I think it
year,
lists, but they all lists like just because of the way the menu's built. I think they list like a season 1 in the episodes. But I don't think we've heard or seen or otherwise know anything about.
It looked like they were going
a season 2. Well, it's kind of left to where they could,
it up, yeah.
Right? So, again, as long as they're not just farting out Star Wars content, or whatever, if they come up with good story, if some creative comes up with a good story for the next season and more to it, and not the same sort of jokes or whatever, then yeah, have at it. Show me a second season. This it was all of an hour, I think, right? The 4 episodes.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it
I think it was like 2 hours total.
It went quick. Tell you what, it went
it went really quick.
No, it was.
Yeah, could be solo. There's a number of tie-ins left to be done, galaxy-wide or whatever. But they did cram a lot of characters into this season 1. They did get a lot of Lego things into all of this. So who knows? But it was entertaining. Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Speaking of days until, I just see on my app it's 58 days to Skellington Crew.
Wow.
From the day of recording.
The only nugget I have, the Lego thing, Jedi Bob. I forget what Bob. I don't know what his full first name is, but his last name was Afol, AFOW, AFOL, and that's adult fan of Lego.
Oh, really?
That's what that's from.
Yeah. So that's my only tip in or nugget I got for anybody. I forget. I don't think it's Bob Varsky or something like that. I forget what his first name was, but yeah, his last name I'm pretty sure is going to end up being a throw to the adult fan of Lego acronym or thing that's out there.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's smart. Another one of them weird small things, and I was like, that's brilliant.
Yeah, the amount of Easter eggy or tie-in things that you could. There's a scene they're in like a trash compactor. I don't know where they are. They're in some sort of thing, and Luke comes and rescues them, and he's talking about can't ever get off of Tatooine or whatever, and he's looking off, and there's 2 lights fixtures above the door or something off that it looks like the twin sun aspect as he's looking off into the distance. I appreciated that little. I mean, there's so many little Easter eggy throw-in, tie-in things like that. Mos Eisley Cantina. What is it? The Mos Eisley Cantina Marina, because Mos Eisley is, or Tatooine wasn't a desert planet.
Tatooine is a water planet.
He was the surfer dude, Luke. Oh, it was just.
Oh yeah, so that was funny.
I was trying to
And
look
did
up
you
the
notice
name.
the necklace that Luke was wearing?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
one.
the Force snippet, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yep.
Padme's.
It was
Yeah.
what?
Oh, right. So a puka shell type of tie-in to a surfer dude wearing a Japor
Yes.
snippet.
He was wearing a
Nice.
Japor snippet.
There's a scene in there. What is it? The bad guy's holding the piece, the cornerstone or whatever, and Luke comes in, does this barrel roll in a Lego pod racer or whatever, and snatches it from his hand, saves the day, and yay, everybody's Luke or whatever. And it was just a fun use of Luke to coming in and saving the day, whereas he was broody before and said he wasn't going to be doing anything, but he comes in, does this cool that's what it was. It was a slow motion barrel roll in Anakin's Lego pod racing looking thing or whatever, and he snatches the piece from the bad guy. It was fun. It was just so
Yeah,
good.
he's a pod racing champion. That was funny.
Yeah.
I was looking up.
Luke's funny. There's another line in there about, I'm not, just so we're clear, I'm not paying for fuel or whatever.
Yeah.
I was looking up Jedi Bob, and apparently there was a 2002 Lego Star Wars Republic gunship set that came with the Jedi, and he had no name, but it was Jedi Bob. People just started calling him Jedi Bob because he had no name, and apparently it's the same character.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's how I love how Lego has its own little sort of universe and canon to where, stuff like that will get tied
So
into
it was that figure, and then he came with that set in 2002. That's funny.
Just an
What
odd name
was
figure.
what was it? A ship?
Yeah, it was the Star Wars Republic gunship. So it was
Star Wars
for
Republic
02, probably Clone Wars.
Just had
movie
no
set.
name Jedi. So
Yeah.
That's fun when Lego do that kind of thing. Now all of a sudden some nondescript set or whatever becomes super popular, valuable or whatever because it has that minifig that no one cared about at the time, but now all of a sudden he's that's the only way you could get Jedi Bob. This tiny little
Well, then
thing.
it ties into like him saying that, like you're saying his backstory. He was from his world. That's pretty cool.
His world of things.
Bobarian, that's his name. Bobarian. Bobarian.
Barbarian.
And I think and I think it's right. It's Bobby Moynihan mashup of the type of thing.
That's funny. Yeah, I liked it. It was really good. I was pleasantly
definitely,
surprised that I enjoyed it that much. Like it was. I mean, I love all the Lego stuff. I was just concerned this one had like a lot of like, oh, they're gonna make fun of all the sequel stuff. But
the other stuff has really been, I have not seen it all because it's super kiddie. And rightly so, it should be. I'm not knocking that at all. It's just I don't know that I can keep going with it as my entertainment
Did you ever watch
thing
the
or
Droid
whatever.
Tales, Ron?
Yeah, that's what I think I'm talking about, right? I've spied in on a couple of those, and like I say, that's super kiddie and had a decent-ish story going with it, but I have not completely seen all of that. I can't say whatever. This held my interest, if you will, so to speak, from the story that it had, and then it was trying to convey the Slave One Greedo looking. What was it? It was the Slave One, whatever, fetch ship. But it had Greedo ears because it was Greedo's ship. It's just the silliness that they can do in the Lego universe. So fun.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Okay. What's left on the list today then? Discuss.
High Republic.
They got some High Republic happening,
yeah,
I think,
Republic,
right?
yeah,
Phase
yeah,
2's end or wrapping in some fashion.
Well, Wave 2's done. We're on Wave 3 now, but that's still ongoing,
the last book of Phase 3, Wave 2, just dropped about a week and a half ago. I have not had a chance to read it because I took a break from books after finishing like my 8th and switched to just comics, something easy, light. I can zing through it and feel like I accomplished something because I'm reading 400 or 500 page books and it's a big mental draw. Like it's tough to do that in like 3 months. And I feel bad for reading so slow. So I'm like, you know what? I'll pick up some comics. I could zing through like a 150 page story in a day, which still takes me about a week. So fun, light. I don't really take a lot of notes on him, so I can read it at night before bed. But yeah, Phase 2 just finished. So, and I know we never finished covering the remainder of Wave 3, Phase 1. So there's 2 books in there that I guess with the time that we have, I could probably just do the super cliff notes and we can just touch on some other little things that happen in the book, I suppose, just to kind of get lined up, and then whenever we all finish phase 2, we'll get our act together and just we'll talk about phase 2, and we'll stay on our track as phase 3 quickly approaches.
Is the last one I think we covered was the Eye of the Storm, right? Or Eye of Darkness, was that?
I hope so, because I only took notes after that.
Yeah, because that was the one in December it came out, and we think we did that in our January episode. So it's been that long since we covered any books.
And I do. Wow, geez, man.
Yeah.
and I do remember talking about how what was that? Or Marquis? No, that was the other book. Never mind. That was Temptation. Didn't want to jump too far ahead on it. So, but anyway, I got some small notes. Hopefully small. I can make them smaller with the time we got left for the last 2 remainders of phase 3 wave 1. So it's what was the first what was the adult book for that set, Ricky? What'd you say it was? Eye of Darkness. That's right.
Yeah, was that the first one in wave 3? Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, because we went back to the present. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's Eye of Darkness, and then the next one that released was the middle grade book Escape from Valo. And just for really short notes,
that was the Ram one, right?
Yeah, just to kind of skim down on time, Ram Jamaran escapes from Valo. So that's kind of the recap of Escape from Valo.
And the kids, they dress up like they thought he was a superhero. That was that book, right?
Yeah, and they escape from Valo. That's about it.
That's pretty much all the whole book.
So, yeah, that's the short notes. But again, overall, the book it was fine. Like the book was okay. I'm a big Ram Jamaran fan. He's one of my favorites of the new characters, just because I like his ability. The middle grade focuses on younger characters. So now Ram's almost the older Jedi. Yeah, he meets some younglings, and they're all trapped on Valo. And if people remember, and as a recap, the Valo Fair was attacked by the Nile in phase 1. And it's been like a year since that. And Nile has almost controlled it since the storm wall went up. And there's a bunch of Jedi younglings, Padawans trapped down there, and like Ram is trapped down there. And they're just trying to disrupt the Nile. Like the Nile wants to have a dark fair of like all the stuff that they captured inside the storm wall, that they control that section of the galaxy. So, and like I said, that's the slimmed down version where they eventually the story is they grab the ship that got flooded and buried during phase 1 and they escape with it. But some of the new characters seem like they'll be more important later. But Ram meets a couple younglings on Valo called Kildo, Tep Tep, Gavi, and Zyle. Tep Tep seems like a really cool character because they speak with animals really well. So every time they appear in a book, and again, they're in wave 2 also, where they come back again for another story. And the character, they get like a giant fish to eat a bunch of Nile when they're trying to escape with the innovator ship underwater. So it does have some like adventure moments where they dive underwater in a ship, they get inside this flooded ship, they're trying to get it running. The Nile are trying to do the same thing. Tep Tep gets like this character to like eat their ship and they blast off and escape. They do have some, and again, anytime there's a tie-in, I like to list it like Zyle, the character. He's a young Zabrak, just a pirate, like, oh, we just do bounty stuff. Not really a bad person, but they mention that Zyle's grandma knows Maz Kanata, and the character specifically says that Zyle's grandma isn't afraid to use the Force unlike Maz. So I love the kind of thing. It's like acknowledging that, yeah, Maz has the Force, and, Maz hides that she has the Force. So I do kind of like little callbacks like that. They reiterate it that the Force isn't passed through family because, like, Zyle's grandma, like I said, is Force sensitive. And Zyle specifically says in the book, well, we all know that the Force isn't passed through childhood type of thing. So I always like the strengthening of the Star Wars lore because, not every one of Ki-Adi-Mundi's kids has the Force. Just because Luke and Leia have the Force doesn't mean that it was passed on from blood. And that's a big reason that they can't make Force clones That's why Palpatine has a hard time like returning without dark Sith magic type of thing and without a dyad. And even that's discovered in old legend books where he makes a cocoon of himself using dark magic to return to have his abilities, but his essence needs to be transferred into these lifeless cocoons, but they don't have the force. So I do like that being solidified.
Like for something in like a little kiddie book, like it's good to have that kind of, ground lore, in there.
Yeah, at least it gives you something. And it was kind of neat that why they were trapped, because they were trapped in the zoo in the book, like the kids that I mentioned.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's right.
Tep has a pet Acklay. So does anyone remember what an Acklay is?
From episode 2. It's the cat one, right?
I believe it's the bug one, if I'm not
Is it
mistaken.
the bug one?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the bug when the Obi-Wan
Yeah,
chops
so
his front claws off.
Bites the stick in half, yeah.
Yeah, the praying mantis looking thing. So she has like a pet. So that's kind of Tep. They just make friends with all these crazy evil characters, and it's like, oh, they're just trying to be nice, like a Drengir and stuff like that. So, but overall, again, these books are usually short and small. I gotta say, phase 3, wave 1 and 2, I'll say as like a prequel to the other ones. It's like they have a lot of characters. A lot of people said Light of the Jedi had a lot of characters, but they are really pouring on the characters in this last phase 3. They have a ton, so it's really difficult to keep up, especially when I move to the other one. But I don't even know. Did you guys who all read Escape from Valor?
I did.
Just Ricky, and did you read it too, Steven?
did too.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, do you remember anything from it, Steven?
Only what you just said now.
Yeah. So overall, it was a fine book. Again, it fills in more characters. Some of them appear in the later books. Some readers kind of look down on the middle grade stuff, but they're usually good 150-page stories, quick to the point, no bacon. So it's not too bad. So, and then the next book, phase 2, was a little bit longer.
Did you just quote Ice Ice Baby?
Yeah, I might have. I just got to slip in the Vanilla Ice things every once in a while. If you caught my other ones, I don't know. Maybe you didn't. So now you have to re-listen to it. But the next book, so the final book for Phase 3, Wave 1, was Defy the Storm. And just as a heads up, I'm probably just going to read straight from my itemized notes that I made this morning. And they kind of jump around a little bit just because I tried to limit them more and more.
When I was the House of Pain.
We just don't have time to introduce all of these characters, but there is a lot of characters.
Yeah.
And that's one of, if I had to say a nitpick for these books, is they have a lot of different focus. Like they meet up, then the team splits up and they each go to different planets, but then they split up again. So it ends up being like the Spiderweb story where they spread way out and kind of meet back together. So sometimes
This was the Vern one, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of why I wanted to touch on it. It has some decent Vern information. So I'll mention some of the characters. If you need reminders, just jump in and chime in. Some people may not remember all these names. They don't know them like I do. So it starts off with, and again, some of these notes that I made are just because they tie into Star Wars. So like Avon Starros, the daughter of Ghirra Starros, Senator Ghirra Starros now works as like the right hand of Marchion Ro. But Avon, her daughter, works for Coruscant because she just pretty much hates the Nile. But she still is, at this point in the book, she's still under the Nile. And she has a security guard that's assigned to her called Diva Lompop. And I only bring that up because I like tie-ins. And Diva Lompop actually appears in the current run of comics. I believe it was the previous like Vader story. And she's like a bird-like character, but her species lives for, as usual, as everything in the galaxy except humans, they live for hundreds of years. So for the people that read the comics, Diva does appear.
She eats humans. So.
Yeah, she also eats people. So, so she's a 7-foot woman, bird feathers.
Okay,
So-
Ryan, I was wondering. I didn't look it up, but so she's a bird character, right? Remember in Shadow of the Sith, there was that senator guy or whatever. He was a bird. Is it the same species? Or do you know?
I don't believe though, because he was,
Okay.
I think, had bird features. She
Oh,
just has like a big jawed mouth type of thing.
Oh, okay.
It's like feather. And it's not like a bird. She just kind of has like feathers, like really colorful feathers on her head.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen a picture of her. So.
Where like the other characters that I talked about, like Kildo and Tep Tep and Gavin, all the two of those characters are a species that have bird feathers all up their arms. Totally different species. But there's like a lot of, it's like, oh, our species used to fly millennia ago. Now we just like walk, but they still have, pointless feathers on their arms that don't do anything. So it's just
Oh yeah, I remember those ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So some other notes. Chansey Yarrow. It was a character that Alzar killed at the end of Phase 1. Remember the woman he just straight up lopped in half? It's revealed that she's the one that invented the storm wall, because she invented the Gravity's Heart and the Gravity's Light. The Gravity's Heart was destroyed in Phase 1. The Gravity's Light ends up being taken by Marchion Ro and used for evil to create the storm wall. So I must say that Defy the Storm had a lot of good background information in it. So I did appreciate that. So they did that. Avon meets Emery. Again, a lot of characters jump around. Avon meets Emery. They need to find Vern. So at this point in the story, as now and a lot of people are aware of who Vernestra Rowe is, and which is pronounced differently than Marchion Ro. They're spelled differently, so no confusion there for people. So, and people are jumping into the High Republic to learn more about Vern. So I did focus more on her story. But they had to find Vern because at this point in the story, Vern left the Jedi Order after the fall of Starlight Beacon. So, and she's on like almost like a retreat because she had too much loss. It was affecting her too much. She was making bad decisions. People were getting hurt. So she just left the Jedi and she's been on her own like peace quest.
Well, she thought her Padawan died, right? Or
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was lost on a planet. That's Emery. Yeah, he was lost on a planet. And so now you have all these side adventures. Avon meets Emery. Oh no, her Padawan isn't Emery. It's someone else I wrote down later. Avon meets Emery. Emery says Vern is still alive. Now they have to go on a separate adventure to go find Vern. So Vern was trying to connect to being a Jedi again. She left because she had too much pain. And she still has, remember I brought this up when we talked about it before. When Mary Senteca died, Vern killed Mary Senteca, the one that created all the paths for the Nile to use. Mary Senteca gave her a path that led somewhere, and my theory was it's kind of a really big thing that might lead to something, and we're still leading there. That's the problem. Like Phase 2 wrapped up recently with this latest book that we won't touch on, and so we only have 3 books left over the next year, and it's
they
like
still haven't talked about
anything. They haven't touched base on anything, man, and it's like, what is happening here? So it's like you guys got a lot of stuff to do. So, but we won't get too much into that. But so she still has this mystery path given to her by Mary Senteca. And so that's like her kind of side quest is she keeps trying to get there and she can't make it because all these pilots don't know what all these numbers and components mean and stuff like that. Then they land on the planet Erikio to help free the planet. So another side adventure, Kara Zoo, that's a Nile Tempest runner. And they go to Erikio to help free the planet. Jordana Sparkburn goes to rescue her family on Arlee. The Nile are there, but they don't stop the ship from coming in. So it like builds a good mystery there. And that's where they land on the planet Arlee, and characters start to discover what's called the Blight. So it's like there's this, we've discussed, I know several times, how when the Nameless attack the Jedi, they turn to dust. Well, now characters are starting to discover that planets are starting to crumble. And so the Nile have this one planet surrounded. Jordana's going there to save her family because she heard it was under Nile rule because it's strapped inside the storm wall with many other planets. And the planet is starting to literally crumble. Like there's caverns opening up they don't understand. So they land on the planet.
Dying.
Yes, they land on the planet to save everyone. At one point, and I would just want to have a little touch upon something where it actually, again, I'd like making connections where Vern has never met any of the Nameless. And when she was out exploring this other planet with, I believe, Avon, a Nameless just walked by her from a distance. And that was the first time she got to experience it. and she like fell to the ground, got weak. She started seeing nightmares. If people don't remember the Nameless, they're monsters that eat the Force and turn the Jedi to dust and make Jedi Force, I should say, Force users specifically, lose their mind with fear. And at one point, Vern is she dives to save somebody. She has memories of the feeling that the Nameless caused, and she wasn't able to use the Force. Like, she wasn't able to call on it because her fear was too great. And I know a lot of people gave Yoda slack at the end of Phase 2 because he knew the Nameless existed, and he hid it from the Jedi Order. Like, him and one other Jedi knew about it, and they had a conversation just like, we can't let this get out because it'll cause fear to the Jedi and make them unable to use the Force. And a lot of people, like on Reddit, were really giving a lot of slack, like, this is why the Jedi Council fell in the prequels. It's because of stuff like this. But then there's one-line sentences that kind of proves that, no, Yoda was right, because Vern barely doesn't see a Nameless, doesn't even know the Nameless exists. She experiences it. And then just because of that moment, the fear is so overwhelming, she can't access the Force anymore because she's too afraid to bring those memories back. So I just wanted to bring that up because I don't like the vilification of the Jedi Council in the prequels that fans are doing now, and a lot of them blame Yoda. And was it a good decision for him to hide this and just hope it would never pop up? No. Maybe not, but he had a point. He had a point at the same time. If they spread fear of things that they would never see again, then the Jedi Order would fall apart trying to stop something that they can't find or even know exists. So, but it also makes them ill-prepared kind of for this part of it coming up, but they haven't figured out how to beat them anyway. So, but moving on from that, again, I just try to support the Jedi Council when I can.
I don't. I totally disagree with your take. But...
Yeah, and you're wrong. That's fine. So, I will fight about that. So, and then Care and Xylan, they're dating. Actually, they're married. So there's Care San Tekka and Xylan Graff are married, and it's like the Romeo and Juliet type of thing where those two families hate each other. But during the story where Jordana Sparkburn is going to save the planet, Care San Tekka is with her, and they get a piece of the blight on their hand, and that's when they realize the blight can spread from people even though they like barely touch the ground. So they chop their hand off and hold it in like suspended animation so it can't spread to other things. So they're able to stop the spread of the blight so far from him, but now they're starting to realize that it's moving from place to place to place, and that's a big problem. So after they free the planet Erikio, Vern knights Emery, and she goes to give him his saber, and Emery says he doesn't want to fight like the Nihil fight. He doesn't believe in weapons anymore. And he takes his crystal and he just throws it into the waterfall. And Emery's a great character type of thing. He has a very good connection to people. It's good to see him go from Padawan to Knight again. So now Vern knights her first Jedi, Emery. He's like, I'm staying on this planet to help protect it. You guys go fight the Storm Wall. So again,
he was the one that he had. His power was empathy, right? He can hear everyone's like fears and emotions.
I believe so. Yeah, that was the character. Yeah,
because he was freaking out, and then in the early books, and then Vern kind of like that's why she became his master, because she was helping him like to work through it, right?
Yeah, because she had the loss of a master too, so she took on her first Padawan at like 17 or something like that. But so Emery, his story continues to good, so that was really good. Let's see. Avon and Vern are leaving. They get attacked by scav droids. Diva Lompop says to go to Tokadana because she goes way back with Maz. So I like these connections where it seems like Maz Kanata keeps getting brought up, and at least this wave. So, and I like that connection to where, again, another character that lives for 900 years or 1,000 years. But it does have, I did write a little note that it does have a really cool fight in space while they're escaping the scav droids. Like Avon's trying to repower the ship to get the engines running. Everyone's trying to fight. And it's Jordana has this weapon called the Merrymaker, which terrifies the Jedi. It's almost like this ring that she snaps together like this hoop, and it powers up almost like a lightsaber. And she was first introduced in Phase 1. And they specifically pointed out how brutal it was because she would throw it and then she'd put a glove on and it would call back and it would just slice people like a lightsaber, but like a a big hula hoop, pretty much, that she throws around. So she goes outside the ship and she fights all these scab droids in the book. And I must say it was a very action written scene. So I just had to point that out, that was a really cool fight
She
scene.
loses it, right?
Yeah, I believe it gets destroyed, knocked out. Where she's it's that tense moment. Will they escape? Will they crash back to the planet and get help? And it's like she's like, no, I have to do something. Yeah. You guys get the engines running. I'm fighting these droids. Like her suit is getting cut open. You know, she's getting hurt, and all the 100 scab droids are attacking her, and she's just throwing this merrymaker around, and she finally jumps back in the ship as they're able to blast off with one engine. So that was very well written. Apparently, one of the things is that Vern, and again, this is mentioned in Acolyte, that she gets headaches, but we High Republic readers knows that she actually gets visions. So she has a vision when they're traveling through hyperspace from Mary Santeca, who she killed in the earlier books. I should say euthanized, maybe, because Mary Santeca was hundreds of years old and was pretty much asking not to be the slave to the Nihil anymore to create paths. So, and Vern has a vision that she should talk to Diva Longpop, that she might be able to help find this hidden path that she has. And Diva says that her species lives a long time, but the Shani has lived even longer. And it's even outside wild space. And it's an area where you should never go, called the Path of Contradictions. So this sets up another big mystery with Vern. And it just makes me happy that after phase 1, I'm like, I think Vern's got some stuff going on, man. She's going to be a big character. And then she ends up being in the Acolyte, and she has this longest running mystery in the book so far. What is her cause? What is she going to,
What happened
you're
to her
talking to
hair?
all these old characters. Yeah. What happened to her hair? So, but then after that, they pretty much escape all that. They gather all their friends. It's more of a setup. Avon is able to get a master key from the storm wall from Xylan Graf. So Xylan Graf is working for the Nihil unwillingly to run the storm wall. But he's leaking information to the Jedi. He gets along with Avon Starros, the teenage wonder mind. He gets her a key that he thinks will have people be able to get by the storm wall, and gives it to Avon. They're able to escape in that big battle that I was talking about. Vern gets back. This is where she's reinstated as a Jedi to say, yeah, I left and I realized my goal isn't to run from it, it's to embrace it. So they reinstate her as a Jedi. During this whole adventure, they find out that these bounty people have video recordings from the crash of the Starlight Beacon, and Vern finds out that Elzar killed Chancey Yarrow as she was trying to save Starlight Beacon,
and still
it
hasn't
caused
told anybody.
It caused the crash. And she goes up to him. She's the Padawan of Stellan, the one who dies, and saving the ship. And it was Elzar that killed the person trying to save the ship. And Stellan said, "No, you leave. I'm going to steer this ship away from the city." So Vern just goes up to Elzar and says, "I know that you killed Chancey Yarrow. That's not what a Jedi should do. You need to inform the Jedi Council." And it kind of just walks away from there. It does have a neat little epilogue, though, that Reath Silas, another Padawan that's been throughout the books, he visits Aslan Rel, which is becoming a bigger and bigger character in the story. He's the one that's from phase 2, one of the first that was affected by the Nameless 150 years prior. People wonder why he's still alive. He appears in the comics, and the Jedi Council immediately tries to kill him because he's endoused with the dark side. And he pretty much says, "I live long because of Sith magic." He crashes a spaceship into a city by tricking Yoda, because Yoda tries to find the Nameless. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll help you find the Nameless." And then blows up an entire city to say,
that happened in the comics,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it did. It blows up a city. And Yoda's freaks out, "Why did you do that?" And he's like, "I'm going to help you find the Nameless by making sure you never find the Nameless." So now the Jedi have him locked in a prison below the Jedi Council, where they still use him for information. So Reath Silas goes down there, and Reath Silas explains to him that, "Hey, we discovered planets are getting blighted." And Aslan Rel just kind of says, "Well, I guess it's coming finally." And then it just ends with him laughing. So there's definitely a big mystery. There's a lot more in phase 2 where they start to reveal some things, Marchion Ro gets involved. I didn't want to touch on phase 2 because only be the first 2 books and not the third book that closes it out. And Tears of the Nameless, the word that I'm getting so far, reveals a lot because it's about 2 Jedi going to discover the history of the Nameless. And apparently it has a nice juicy details. But as far as this Wave 1, it was a lot of setup. Characters went on a lot of adventures to meet back up. If I wasn't writing down notes, I would have got lost several times where writing helps you remember better. Had some interesting information, but for me personally, Phase 3 isn't as exciting as Phase 1. And I'm still hoping that they close it out really well because they have a lot of stuff to do. Like,
well, then they're bringing together people from Phase 1 that didn't know each other. So like now you got Jordana and Xylan and all that stuff. So
yeah, Xylan, and then they keep introducing new characters, and I'm like, you got a plethora of characters you can still use. Like people like Emery and Reith, and they're relegated to like side characters now. Yeah. Like, oh, here's what they did in one story. I'm like, okay, well, focus on them. Quit creating new characters, and so it's still very enjoyable. But I'm coming to the realization that if they don't close this out well, this will be like kind of 9 books, of a lot of stories where it's like, dude, you better give me a banger of a story because Marchion Ro is just freely roaming the galaxy kind of thing. And in the next book, he starts testing on the Blight, and it's cool what he does. But again, that whole 300-page book was just Marchion Ro testing things. And I'm like, I need some more meat and potatoes, man.
Yeah,
like,
I need stuff with Avar and Vern in there too. But we'll get into that one. I'm gonna have to take notes on that one too because
can't imagine why you think the note taking thing is a bit much. Yeah, that's an insane amount of character. It's just a lot going on in a book too. Trying to keep track. It's one thing to visually keep track of a bunch of different characters or whatever, but in the book form, I can see why the note taking is just like, oh, okay, I got to keep track of this.
And it's really,
but if they wrap it together, then it might work.
And it's really all in the writer's skill. Like sometimes a writer will introduce a character and then only use one name for the rest of the book. Where some characters they'll use like, oh, this is Luke Skywalker. They'll call him Luke for a while and they'll be like, oh, Luke Skywalker from Tatooine. And it's like my mind triggers where if they're like, oh, the boyfriend of Xylan and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay, that's who that character is. So it's all in the writing style where you have to re-describe a character every once in a while to like, hey, here's a reminder that Diva is the bodyguard of Avon. So when Diva's off doing her own thing, it's like, oh yeah, that's who she is. That's who she looks like. So these characters spread out and they come back together. It's definitely a slower build than I expected for Phase 3. Like I expect them to already be fighting Marchion Ro, and it's like, oh no, he still controls a third of the galaxy or a quarter of the galaxy or whatever. Like he still controls it, and he's just roaming around freely, and people are trying to deal with it, and they're slowly realizing things. But man,
how about the last book though, right? Oh, we'll touch on. We have to go into detail with that one later, with Marchion and all that stuff. That's a good ending to that one.
Which I predicted. Next is Tears of the Nameless. That closes out Phase 3. And then since it's Star Wars Reads Month, some of the other books were, just like the next one coming up is lost to me. Oh, here it is. So Tears of the Nameless just released September 24th. That closes out Phase 3, Wave 2. Mace Windu, The Glass Abyss comes out October 15th. So a nice prequel story with Mace Windu between episodes 1 and 2. And then next...
Oh, that's the I said Shadowpoint earlier. I meant Glass Abyss. They have an excerpt in that packet.
Oh, yeah. I don't like reading excerpts because I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to read this book, so I don't need a hint. I'm just going to read it. So they announced an audiobook for High Republic called Tempest Breaker in December.
Yeah, I already have that. It's a audio drama, isn't it? Right?
They just listed, it's the dramas. Yeah, the audio drama.
I have that pre-order.
So, and then I believe the next, and the release order is a little bit strange. I guess for the last books, it looks like April, May, and June are the release for the last 3 books, which is insane. It only gives you a month for each book. But the next one is a young adult, April 1st. So there's going to be a big gap for High Republic. So we'll have plenty of time to catch up on the High Republic and talk about it. But the next one's April 1st as High Republic starts to close out its story. And I just now realized, like I said, April 1st, May 6th, and June 17th closes out. And I was like, man, that's a little close together to release like 3 closeout books. So you must be speeding towards something when we have a 4, 5, 6 month gap with any High Republic stuff, other than comics. There are some comics coming, so. But High Republic is going strong. I'm hoping that it closes well. I'm enjoying these characters, and like I said, it reinvigorated a love of reading for me like I've never had. So even if it doesn't pan out, or if it does, I'm still reading Star Wars almost nonstop. So I do appreciate that.
I did see a
So
lot
that's
of
the
people
catch-up.
online when Acolyte was going on that they were starting to get into it because of the show. So they were starting to Light the Jedi. I'm like, well, it's good. Maybe they have time to catch up before it all ends. So.
And that's like one of my big hopes is that it was always that I wish, and that was like my fan thing where I didn't want to invest in it, where they'd have all these High Republic books, but the real finish to the story will be a movie. And that's something that kind of like that's something like the Mandalorian is doing, where they have a series show and it does a finale and a movie. So, and again, there's different, I don't want to say levels of fans, but there's people who don't read, there's people who don't watch the streaming service, they only watch the movies that's come out, they may only watch the main movies, but I like introducing background stuff. So if you don't follow it like all we do, and you only focus on maybe the movies that get released, you're like, oh, what's this Mandalorian character? Oh, I've heard of Disney Plus, and I can learn about it there. So, but just imagine 9 books and then releasing, like, even if it's a straight to series hour and a half, some movie where you just have these giant Jedi battling Markian Ro and terrorist Nile, and you're like, whoa, how do I learn about this? Well, here's all these books you can read. So I do wish they'd led to something bigger, but I also understand the book fandom is different, so it's just kind of appeasing to that. But again, it's fun. I'm loving reading Star Wars. So much content, man. Card games, movies, series. Skeleton Crew comes out December. Video game. It's all multiple video games. Star Wars is in every corner aspect of our life right now. If you like comics, read comics, mangas, books, novels,
Legos,
audiobooks. So it's good, man. Just try to keep the family
audiobooks
involved.
have been really good. I've been since Wave 2 or Phase 2. I've been doing nothing but audiobooks, and they've been great. So
yeah, they have been really good. I usually read a book, and then I listen to the audiobook as soon as it drops, because I see where the character's going and what they're doing and stuff like that in my mind. So it's nice to just experience the story that way. And Mark Thompson, who does almost all the adult books, is like an 11 out of 10 narrator. So just to hear Mark Thompson, I'd recommend listening to any of the audiobooks with him.
Stephen, what was your questions for this week?
I did have a couple of questions, but I don't know if anybody wanted to. Everybody just wants to get off to the world or what? I don't know.
Is it a short question? Question?
They're all short ones. It's just a question about whether you debate it for half an hour afterwards. The questions are actually really short.
Oh.
So I've got one. This is from the Star Wars trivia card game that I was given one Christmas in the last 5 years and so. They have got multiple choice answers, but I'm not going to give you the multiple choice because some of them are just so easy. So I've chosen some of the more complicated, the ones you have to think about a bit more, shall we say. So, can you guys raise your hand, on this thing? Can you use the raise your hand option? Do you want some? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah. So, if anybody wants to enter it, raise your hand. So, lower your hand.
I don't know
how.
how.
Lower your hands.
It's right next to chat and share screen. Well, you're on your phone, I think.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
You still got it on the
okay.
phone. You just got.
I got it.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I have it.
Yeah, the 3 dots. I just don't use Skype, so I had figured out. Okay, the 3 dots on the corner of my screen.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you the options. Just going to read the question.
The ellipsis.
Right. So, General Grievous, remember him? He uses 4 lightsabers in battle with Obi-Wan Kenobi. 2 have blue blades, but which color are the other 2?
I swear.
Oh my god! I can't tell who came up first. It looked like it.
My computer said Ryan, and then me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I have to say that's what it says on mine too.
But it does disappear quickly.
Go for it, Ryan.
No, there's only one Ryan.
Ryan?
But my guess is green.
Yeah.
Correct.
I just watched.
Yay!
I pushed it and then Ryan's popped up, so I don't know.
Because you didn't push it fast enough. Congratulations. It's called the rules.
Yeah, push it now.
Lower your hand.
No, not now.
Takes a second.
Lower your hand, Ryan. Lower your hand, Ryan. Okay. This one I predict Ricky might come in the quickest.
Because he's going to cheat and raise his hand before the question's over. But that's fine.
Because you said the answers are simple. We should know because that was the world's easiest.
All right, guys, let's get on with it.
I'm going for slightly complicated ones. Okay. How many of the 18 competitors completed the Bonta Eve Classic Pod Race? According to this, it was Ryan again.
Give me a total guess, but I'm going to say 1.
1? No.
I just wanted to cheat and raise my hand first. So
yeah. I don't remember. It doesn't keep it up on the screen. Who
Yeah,
raised
down
the
on the
hand,
left, if you look at participants, it shows the people that raised their hand. And I see Ryan, me, and then Marie. Did you lower your hand, Ricky?
I raised it and then lowered it.
Yeah, so you're no longer on the list. So I'm next.
Am I wrong then?
You're wrong. It's not 1.
Okay, that's fine.
It's more than 1.
I'm going with 3.
No.
Marie?
4.
No.
7.
No. 6.
2. Okay. I honestly thought only Anakin did it. I thought everyone else crashed and died.
No, there were others in behind him, but yeah, I didn't.
If you count how many people
others?
died. Yeah.
I'm sure the other day, Ricky, you reeled off everybody who finished the race. We had that whole conversation about.
Yeah,
okay.
but then there's some that in the deleted scenes that kind of I don't know.
Oh yeah, there are some in the deleted scenes.
I guess the camera just doesn't focus on them, so I could see more surviving. I guess they're just in last. Like I don't want to die for this. I'll just hang back, get some prize money, and then they end up placing
18
second.
too, so.
Imagine you're just hanging out in like 17th place. Everyone dies in front of you, and you're like, "Woo, second place."
Well, the one guy didn't even take off. He blew up.
But last one. This is quite. When you think about it, this is actually easier than I might think it is. Which Jedi was honored with the title Defender of the Home Tree by the Wookiees? Ricky was first.
Darn it, I forgot his name. The one from Rebels. Or not Rebels, from Bad Batch. I forget his name.
You're overthinking it.
Mm.
It's not.
No clues. Time's up.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, yeah, time's up.
Time's up. No, it's not. It's not who you can't think it. You think it might. Can't think who it is. Ryan, I think second.
Again, random guess. Just to raise my hand, I'm just going to say Yoda.
Correct.
Yeah.
You said Wookiee.
No, we didn't.
I said,
who did the Wookiees call?
The title Defender of the Home Tree by the Wookiees. I don't remember that being mentioned in the film. Was that in the book or something? I know he was. When did they mention that in the films?
Well, they don't mention it in the film.
No, they don't. No. So where did that come in?
Probably in the novel.
It's not in the novel as far as I remember.
Isn't Yoda on the home tree when he gets Order 66?
Oh, is that? It's not much of a tree, is it?
I mean, he was
up
there.
Giant tree, and he cuts off like clones' heads. So yeah, they help defend the planet in the battle. So I just assumed, that would be a good nickname for him.
I would have.
But now it gets to Ricky's answer. What the heck is the name of that Wookiee?
I forgot his name.
What Wookiee?
Because it's not Chrysanthemum, and that's what's stuck in my head. It's
from Bad Batch.
Tarful.
No, not Tarful.
Bad Batch.
It's not Tarful.
Oh, Tarful. It's Tarful, isn't it?
It is Tarful.
Yeah,
no.
Tarful wasn't a Jedi. The Jedi.
No, he's not a Jedi. He's not a Jedi. But that's what you were thinking when you were going with a Wookiee.
No, I was going with the. I thought the question was what Jedi Wookiee was named Protector of the Tree. I misunderstood the question.
No, that's not it, is it? Gunji.
Yeah, Gunji.
Gunji.
That's what I was thinking. Gunji.
Gunji.
I thought you said it was a Jedi Wookiee. So
but Gunji was a little Wookiee. He was like a cub.
Yeah. Padawan. I don't think he was Jedi yet, was he?
No, he was a Padawan.
But Tarful is who's Yoda's friend. Who's Yoda's friend? Whatever.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's like Chewbacca's uncle. Well, no, he was on Chewbacca's shoulder. Yeah. Okay.
He was, but he went there under the guise of having a tie to Tarful somehow.
Well, he said good relations with the Wookiees.
Yeah, but
Well, yeah.
He went to go see his Wookiee girlfriend.
I don't think they made they didn't make the direct connection of Yoda and Chewie. They had somebody in between.
Well, it's just
to flesh
Tarful was
out.
like the captain. He was like the main leader, general guy.
to flesh older,
just
right?
to throw
flesh
it up,
out.
just to throw it out there, Tarful does have a card in Star Wars Unlimited, so he's in there too. He's got a big old shotgun with shoulder pads.
So Defender of the Home Tree was bestowed upon Yoda for assisting them in many tense negotiations with their sister neighbors, the Trandoshans. Yoda also earned the honor for helping the Wookiees defend Kashyyyk from the Separatist raiders.
Yeah, exactly.
So he had it twice. He earned it twice.
Well, good relations with the Wookiees had he.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So there we go. There's something new every day. Very good relations.
Lunchtime it is.
Protect the tree. I will.
Breakfast around here.
Dinner time for me. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for listening. Find us on all the usual social media platforms. That will be a little bit inserted after this to remind you where to go and stuff like that. So it's goodbye from everyone. Goodbye from me, and goodbye from. Get my thing back up here. It's gone. Hang on, Ricky. Goodbye from Ricky.
Bye. And if you're listening, please, when we drop episodes on Twitter, please
Drop us some money.
share them and retweet so we can get more people to listen to our show. So trying to spread the love. So it's all positivity.
Retweet us, repost us, whatever it's called these days.
Yeah.
Goodbye from Marie.
Goodbye. And just a reminder, we're also on Threads. So if you are on Threads, please also spread the love there.
Does anybody people use Threads? Oh, you use Threads.
People use Threads.
We should get on Blue Sky as well. Blue Sky, that's where all the cool people are, apparently. I don't know. Okay. Goodbye from Ryan.
Also, another reminder for me: let's create a MySpace page. Maybe we'll just do as MySpace.
You already have
Star
one.
Wars.
Are we on?
I still.
I think I did make one.
Find us on MySpace. I have no idea what it is or what my log information is. Peace
It's
out.
still there, isn't it? It is still there, MySpace, I think, isn't it? Oh no, it's not.
Are we friends with Tom?
Tom, everybody's friends with him. So that man's had a social media orgy, hasn't he? I wonder where he is now. There must be somebody must have written an article.
He's out to lunch.
You can also find us on supershadow.com.
Yeah. Okay, and finally, goodbye from Ron.
Cheers. Stay safe, everyone out there. I have no reminders to remind anybody. Trick or treat's coming up. To make sure you hook your make sure you hook your Star Wars characters.
I thought Ron was going to be like, find us on LinkedIn or something.
No, I was going to chime in with find us on whatever on the dark web, but
everybody
AOL
in America, go walking around all your streets until you find Ron's house.
I need my Jedi Bob drop. Everyone's got to stop calling me old.
That'd be a good costume. It's really easy. I have a beard. I have lightsabers. Man, I was going to be Bret Hart, but now I might have to be Jedi Bob. Discussion for later.
Lego face yourself. I don't know.
Jedi Bob. You can't be Bret Hart. Yeah.
I'm going to wear my THR-esque Jedi robes. So
you can be Bret Hart. No one's going to know who you are.
Bret the Hitman Hart? Come on, dude. Anyway, I got the glasses. What more do I need other than a head of hair? I don't know.
A time machine to go back when Bret Hart was relevant.
Anyhow, thank you, everybody. Goodbye. May the force.
Bye. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What's that?
Music.
Go switch off. I am the Senate.
Be sure to follow us online. We're at Facebook at PSW Senate. Join our Plus W Star Wars Facebook group where we all are in there interacting. You can find us on Twitter at PSW Senate. On Instagram, we're at PSW Senate Podcast. And on TikTok, we're at PSW Senate Podcast. We look forward to hearing from you.
The Force will be with you, always.
Hello.
You know? Who's that?
It's me.
It's Marie.
There's two of you. Oh no, there's two of them. This is getting out of hand.
That's my seat. I was here first.
All right, I wasn't looking. I've got Skype on in the background.
The Spanish Armada has arrived.
Yes.
No one suspects the. No, what's the line?
That's the Spanish Inquisition.
What is that from? Quote
Monty
from?
Python, I think.
Yeah, I would guess. I haven't. Yeah, sounds like it would be from that, wouldn't it?
I think it's from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, no, it can't be.
Is that the "'Tis but a Flesh Wound" one?
That's "'Tis but a Flesh Wound," yes.
Okay. I started watching that one. I've never seen any Monty Pythons, but we started watching that one. I got to the part where they're throwing cows at people.
My favorites are I don't really like the movies that much. My favorites are the Dead Parrot sketch from the show and the spam.
Spamalot.
Not Spamalot. There's a skit that you'll have to look it up. There's a skit that there's two people in a cafe ordering breakfast and everything has spam in it.
Oh, were they in Hawaii?
No.
Spam.
See? Steven knows.
Hey, yo.
They teach that in school there for him.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Yeah, for a minute it was 1588 all over again. Hey, Ryan.
Hello.
Spam. I still haven't actually watched any of the Monty Python films from start to finish. I've only ever seen clips of it. I should put it on my. I put it on my list actually. Well, I didn't put it on my list. I put it on my virtual list just a couple of days ago. I thought just got to sit down and watch one of those films.
The Holy Grail is good. I didn't like The Life of Brian.
The Life of Brian. Yeah.
The Life of Ryan.
The Life of Ryan. That's a dull sequel. Yeah.
It's not very exciting.
No. Spends most of his time in the basement, getting underwater.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but I was going to start that one actually. I don't know what order they come in or how many there are. There's at least 3 or 4, I don't know.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail was first.
That first was it. It doesn't really matter if you watch them in order, not does it?
Yeah, no, they don't. They're not sequels or anything. But Monty Python and the Holy Grail was the first one because that came out in 1975, which I know because anything that came out in 1975 or like thereabouts.
Well, I should know that too. I was born as well that year, but I.
Yeah.
Do you know what was number 1 on your birthday?
Ooh.
The day you was born.
What, like the song that was number 1?
Yeah, number 1 in the charts. Yeah.
Mine was Kenny Rogers' "Lady."
Oh my goodness. I think it was something by Diana Ross, if I'm not mistaken, but I'd have to look it up. I don't remember exactly.
Mine was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Really?
Yeah, number 1 in the UK anyway.
Let's see, what was number 1 on my birthday?
That was number 1 in, was it? Is this the UK though? Is it telling me in the UK or not? I'm not sure. In UK, let me see. Try again.
Mine was "Every Breath You Take" by The Police.
Oh goodness, you got the Snuffler song.
A classic. Number 1's in the pop.
So at least you got a good one. Like, I got Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers is a legend. What are you talking about?
He makes chicken.
Oh, okay, yeah.
March. I've forgotten the.
Is he still alive?
No, he's dead.
Is he?
I'm sorry, what?
Hasn't got all these pages. Aren't giving me all the.
Well, I know the number 1 in the U.S. on my birthday, which was Lady Marmalade. That's a pretty good one.
Official charts.
That's a good one.
Official charts.
Apparently, Flashdance "What a Feeling" was also number 1, and "Every Breath You Take."
Classic.
"Every Breath You Take" was number 1 in the UK. Number 1 country song was "Lucille" by Waylon Jennings. I don't know that.
I love Waylon Jennings. That's a good one
Waylon
too.
Jennings, I don't know what song that is.
David Bowie, "Let's Dance."
Oh,
Good
yeah,
day,
my-
man.
That's a good
On
song.
Bye Bye Baby by the Bay City Rollers, according to this.
Oh goodness. Ugh.
Well,
What's
he's
that?
also
Well, it says here. I don't know what one. I'm just gonna play it. Yeah.
Okay, for my birthday was Blondie, The Tide Is High in the UK.
That's a good one.
Blondie.
I
I don't know it.
You don't know Blondie, Tide Is High? I know the song.
I think I know of Blondie.
Isn't that a Dolly Parton song? No.
No, you're thinking
Would've
of
been covered,
Islands in the
though.
Stream
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
with
I
Kenny
know
Rogers.
I know The Tide Is High, but I didn't know it was Blondie.
Is there anybody who actually likes country music?
I used
It depends
to.
on.
I don't have a problem with it. It's too much. My life is terrible and everyone broke up with me type of crap. But you know, I'm fine with it. That's the only thing they play in my town on the radio, so I end up listening to it a bunch.
Oh
and
my giddy aunt.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I like
idea.
older country.
Me
my
too.
idea.
Like Waylon Jennings. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
good country stuff. He's good country stuff. But newer country, bleh.
Yeah, they try to rap now. I'm like, just keep
Yeah,
it-
they try to rap.
leave my hip hop alone. No, I like the old. Yeah, I like stuff like that. Waylon Jennings and gosh, it's been so long since I listened to those songs. Johnny
Outlaw
Cash
country.
doesn't really count.
Johnny Cash doesn't count anymore now.
I
Waylon
mean, that was really
Jennings, Hank Williams, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, Hank Williams. Yeah, old Hank Williams.
Hank Williams and Hank Williams Jr.
That one down Georgia.
Yep,
That's another one.
that's a good one. Charlie Daniels, yeah. Charlie Daniels
Yeah, I like
died recently.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, but by the way, I threw a link to the Blondie video in the chat, Brian. So you know what the Tide Is High sounds like.
Well, Blondie was awesome.
Yeah, Blondie's awesome. You'll have heard that song.
First recorded rap song was Blondie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rapture.
Yeah. Fat
Oh, I
Fat
just
Freddy.
realized it has the word rap in it.
Yeah.
That makes sense now. But wait, wouldn't it have been like Rapper's Delight?
That was after, I believe. Or it was
Really?
either the first video or the first one they actually played. I don't know. Of course they would play. I don't know. Maybe that one predated it.
Of course they would
What
put a
year
white
was
face on
Rappers?
it.
What year
Rapper's
was
Delight
Rappers?
was 79?
I feel like it was around the same time. Oh, Dwight Yoakam's the other country singer I like. And he's from
Dwight
California,
Yoakam, yeah.
from Bakersfield.
Oh, that
Yeah.
Blondie song ain't that good.
That's not
That's
one
a
of her
good
best.
Blondie. I actually
it's
like
just
that
kind of-
song. It's one of my favorites.
It's bland. It's really bland.
It's
I
like
don't know, I don't
reggae
know.
light. She has
Yeah,
a tendency
it's-
to.
Yeah.
She has a
Oh, the Tide Is
at least
High.
in the 80s.
The
She
Tide
had a
is-
tendency. Go ahead, Stephen.
She was a
Mhm.
culture
Rock out.
Mm.
She used every
I know.
genre. She did rap, reggae, punk.
Yeah, she had a tendency to co-opt black music forms. It's really kind of weird.
Yeah.
In the early 80s and like late 70s, early 80s.
There was like
But
a
yeah,
weird UK 80s reggae thing too. Like that
Oh,
was-
the second wave ska thing. Second wave
Yeah.
ska.
Well, then you had like
uh,
UB40 and stuff like that too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
UB40, but like they
Why?
grew up in a neighborhood with like a bunch of Jamaican people or
Yeah.
something.
Mm.
And then there was
It's-
like the English beat and the specials, and I actually love
Yeah,
second wave ska.
Specials. I always play Ghost
And-
Town around this time of year.
And,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and Madness.
Ghost Town. Just remember
So,
Ghost Town.
what are we talking about today? Do we have the agenda?
80s
Star
music.
Wars.
80s music.
80s music.
Oh, geez, what was Ron's number one song during
Yeah, what was
his,
Ron?
on his birthday?
90s was better. 90s was better.
The 80s were all the best. Were when all the best music was, except I will give the 90s because grunge.
I remember when I was a kid, and then like I think we had first got cable, so MTV was like new, and then I think it was Material Girl video came out, and everybody like ran to the TV to watch. That would always happen when the music video would go. It was Michael Jackson or like Madonna or something. Everybody would just, or Cyndi Lauper, everybody would just run to the TV like the video's coming out, and then we'd all run.
Yep.
No, I remember when we first got satellite TV here, plugged it in, I went straight to the music channel,
And remember the first song that was in the middle of being played at the time? You probably don't know if it actually got released in America or not. It was The Only Way Is Up by Yazoo.
I love that song.
The Only Way Is Up, baby.
I love that song.
It's you and me now. That one.
I don't know.
What's funny is that song never made it here to this side of the pond, but I've heard it only because my aunt went to England in whenever that song came out, 1987 or 88 or so, and she brought me back. Now that's what I call music, volume 13.
Oh, fantastic!
What?
And it was on there.
They had those back then.
They had those back then. Those started in England.
On CD?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, on cassette tape.
I still got cassette tape here somewhere over there.
Yeah, I have the cassette somewhere around here. It's a double cassette. It's a double cassette set, and it's got like all kinds of stuff that never made it to this side of the pond. But I heard everything that was popular in 1988.
It's not like 13 Robbie Williams songs, or would that be?
No, it wasn't. I think that might have been the 90s, but
thankfully, long before Robbie Williams, thankfully.
Yeah, there was a ton of stuff on there that never came out here or never really made it big here.
Ron, we were Googling, if you're listening, we were Googling what song was number one on the day we were born. And Ryan's was Every Breath You Take with the Police. Mine was Lady by Kenny Rogers. Marie was, what was yours?
Lady Marmalade.
Lady Marmalade. And then Steven's was, I don't know, what song was
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody, yeah. So I wonder what Ron's is.
Be some four-piece orchestra music, wouldn't
it? Amadeus.
Vivaldi in the Four Seasons was number one.
It was just like some cavemen banging on some rocks.
Speaking of cavemen banging on rocks, I was watching 2001: A Space Odyssey. I've been trying to get through that movie for like 25 years.
Yeah, it takes about that long to get through it.
It takes that long.
I've never seen it. I've never seen that one.
I'm only watching it, Ryan, as homework because as a Star Wars fan, they said George Lucas drew, but there is a lot of stuff that it looks like he did like lift from there. But man, I understand why Lucas was like faster and more intense when he was making stuff.
Oh, it's a great film. It's not great pace. I haven't seen it for a while now. But
it takes like 3 minutes for the ship to like go from one place to the other.
That is more realistic. It's more atmospheric.
Yeah, but we're watching a movie, so just do a cut scene.
There's no talk in the first 20 minutes of the movie, Ryan.
You've got to immerse yourself in it.
I swear, the movie's like
brilliant. It's like
2 hours long, and there's maybe like 10 minutes of dialogue and story. The rest is just
most of it is yeah, kind of. But
the average day is 24 hours, and there's about 10 minutes of conversation during the day.
Yeah, it's true.
And most of the dialogue is from Hal, isn't it?
I haven't even got there yet, so I'm like an hour into it, I think.
And there's still no dialogue.
No, it's just the guy went to the hotel and he's walking around and they're looking at the monolith thing. So yeah, the plot's getting there, but yeah.
I'm sorry, Ricky, I can't do that.
What?
Oh, that's pretty good.
I haven't got there yet. Spoilers.
It's a movie that needs a Cliff Notes person that understands it, or a book, I don't know, following along with you to explain what the heck you're watching. It's
no, I get what's going on. It's just really slow.
I'll Be There by the Jackson 5.
Ah.
Oh, that's a classic.
That's a good one.
What
about the movie? We're looking at movies too. Mine was The Fog. Did anybody remember The Fog?
The Fog?
Is that,
yeah. That's like the original one, though. It must be the original.
Yeah, it was number one when I was born. So.
I don't know what film was.
Might have been Bond, either Her Majesty's Secret Service or Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Can you guess my number one movie in America, in the world?
Me first.
Space Jam. I don't know.
No, I ain't that young. Damn.
Tron. What does Ron's guess?
Oh, it's A New Hope.
No, I'm not that old. I was born in 1983.
Oh, Jedi.
Yeah, I just like number one movie, and it's like Return of the Jedi. I was like, oh dang, Return of the Jedi came out May 25th. I was born June 1st, so it was quite successful.
Wait, dude, Empire come out in 80. Why was it my number one? I guess it was November, so.
Yeah. Number one movie when I was born was Shampoo, of all things.
Shampoo. That was Warren Beatty, right?
Yep.
A horrible season of movies, it sounds like. Jeez.
Yeah, well, the 70s weren't exactly what I would call, great for movies until. Oh, hey, Carrie Fisher was in that, though.
Oh, yeah, she
Wow,
was.
that's Star Wars.
Let's do it
Yeah.
again. Apparently, it's number one.
Ricky, I'll have to.
Never heard of it.
I'll have to watch it again. But did you watch the Lego thing? There's something in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is a couple. There were a couple of call out by Servo. There were a couple of call outs that I thought could be drops for the show. I think one of something he said was an ending show, and something else made me think of Steven the Chance. I remember now I knew I should have wrote him down. I'm like, no, I'll remember him. I know I would not remember. I know I won't remember the damn thing. Why do I not write this stuff down?
What are you talking about the
Gonk Droid, the power droid says something.
Yeah.
Once he gets a voice, he's got a couple of lines, and one of them's like, one of them was a good thing for a sign off for the show, or have a good show, or have a good.
I like how they changed the opening bit, didn't they? The thing I never liked when they go through the crawl bit, the Star Wars bit at the start, when they go through the different
helmets
eras of Star Wars and that kind of like that. They changed that for the Lego thing, and they got the Gonk droid initially gonking, and then he's like says something, doesn't he? Instead,
right, episode 2 or 3. Yeah, once he gets his voice module, he says, "Go on," and maybe that's what it is. He says like, "Let's enjoy the show," or "On with it." I don't know. Nah. Anyway,
that was a nice touch. Surprisingly enjoyed that more than I thought I was going through that. So there's actually tense in finale. It's actually found it tense. It's only Lego.
I know, really.
Yeah.
I had to finally watch it not late at night one night because I watched it like I don't know. I stopped a couple times because I fell asleep through it. Not because it was boring. It's just I picked a bad times to be trying to watch the thing. He's like, oh, yep, okay, I'm gonna have to try that in the morning, see if I can get through it because it was short. It was 4 episodes and they were half-hour short. So I'm like, 2 hours. I can watch 2 hours worth of Star Wars. Apparently, I could not.
Marie, is your cat messing with your phone?
We can see your number one fan on the scene.
Your camera's on.
Oh, what? My camera's on?
Yes, that's what I've been telling you for the past 2 minutes.
Oh, sorry. Why is my camera on? It's like randomly coming on.
Well, that's not good.
Skype has been
As long as it doesn't come on at the wrong time, that's all right.
Yeah, don't take it with you in the bathroom.
The signal's coming from inside the house.
Yeah, really? What was I going to say? I may have to. Let me go feed the cat. Hold on just a second.
Always go there. Feed the cat. Yeah, so what are we talking about?
The Lego thing?
The Lego thing and whatever we've been doing Star Wars wise, I guess. I don't know.
Hunters? Were we doing Hunters?
Yeah, you wanted to talk about Hunters.
We should give it a minute or two, yeah.
And then
How about the game? Anybody log any time with the game? I have not.
Hunters?
Which game?
Well, isn't Hunters the app, and then isn't there a game that just recently got released that kind of got
Outlaws?
Or is that Outlaws? Okay.
I think I'm the only one that has it.
Oh, I own it. I just haven't had any time to play it.
You haven't played it, or you owned it, or you bought it?
Own it?
Which one did you buy, Ron?
See, what part of I own it? I just don't have any time to play it. Didn't go through.
Did you get it for PC, or do you have a console?
The PS5, and that was part of it. The PS5 was.
Oh no, we're just all shocked. It's not that we misunderstood you. It's just like, wait a minute, you own a brand new piece of technology and bought like a brand new game with it. 100 hours of play, like what?
And I'm not
Ron, even if you
if I drop
start
off,
playing,
it's because I hit the cough button.
Even if you just go in there just to play Savak, it's worth it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can just sit in there and play.
You can just tutorial or just do that part of find that section or whatever.
I feel like I played early on, like within the first day I played, like I got to a Sabak table.
Yeah, it's the modern console. I'm gonna date myself so bad it's not even funny. My Atari, you plug the cartridge in, you dialed up whatever game you want to play, and you were playing in a second. These modern things, they take forever to load. You're just not playing right away, and I got to sign up, or I got to have my account information, or I don't know. You can't play the things right away like you used to could.
You need the internet to like upload and like.
No, the good old days when you wanted to play a good old game of Pong, you just plugged it in, turned it on, off you went.
Off you go, right?
Yeah. Did you ever get, since you have a PS5? Did you ever get that Atari 50th anniversary thing, or that was a game that I was telling you, it's kind of like a playthrough documentary where there's like video clips, and then it tells you this was the first game that we developed for Atari, and then they show like Pong, and then you can actually play Pong, and then the different variations, and then there's like they go through Galaga and all these other ones that Atari did. Yeah, it's from a documentary standpoint, it's really good, but then you really get to play like all these old games, and it shows you like the old consoles, how they used to look in the arcade. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's one worth picking up if you have PS5. So
okay, it was playable too. So it's a PS5 game of sorts, but it has the video pieces in it as well. Interesting. No, I can't say.
It's like a timeline you can go through and like, okay, what year do I want to look at? And it's like 1970 whatever, and it shows you all the game. Yeah,
it's kind of cool. Yeah, Atari's been re-licensed so many times. Somebody's trying to make some money on it and nostalgia from old guys like me. That it's so many iterations of it out there. It's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of the old stuff, aren't they, are remade. So you just plug them in and you can have your nostalgia fix on your TV. Commodore 64, Spectrum, they've all got cheapo versions of themselves around.
They have those.
I'm not that desperate though. As you know, I ain't got time. Don't seem to get around and doing anything else, let alone play retro games.
Amen. And they can emulate that, but they can't emulate.
Well, you can put it on top of the sail barge box, Rom, and maybe somebody in 20 years' time will want to open a prestige unopened PS5 box.
Yeah, I don't think that has the same level of potential collectability.
You never know. Right. Okay, so where's that gone?
We're still feeding cat.
Excuse me.
No, I'm not. I haven't. No,
Damn,
I'm here.
Hungry.
He's still hungry. He doesn't want. He doesn't want his food though. He's sitting here staring at me because what he wants are his TREATS. I don't dare say it out loud because then he's going to want them.
Is that a droid?
No.
TREET.
Ron, I posted the picture of that game, so if you're ever at GameStop,
thank you, Ricky. I have seen.
Isn't that the Doom logo?
TREATS.
Unreal, isn't it? Unreal, like that. Yeah, the Unreal symbol. A bit like that.
That's the Atari symbol.
That's the Atari symbol.
I thought Unreal.
Yeah, that's the Atari logo.
Unreal, a bit like that as well.
It's Unreal.
Maybe they copied it from that. Don't know.
They probably did.
Unreal Gaming Engine for Doom and Quake and all that.
Yeah, Hunters. They're using the Unreal one as well.
Oh, it is?
It's
fascinating stuff.
Atari wasn't the first cartridge game.
If you helped invent the Unreal Engine, man, you'd be living off a lot of lucrative licensing money, wouldn't you?
I wonder, or for whether there's a lot of sabotage and backstabbing and corporate stuff going on in that business, you know.
Servo says, "Hope you enjoy the program, everybody." I mean, come on, that's a drop right before we get into anything.
I'll have to add that to the.
That's a good one, yeah.
You can add it to the intro.
I haven't added one since like the Visions thing where he's like, "It's gonna be the best show ever." Yeah, that's the last time I added one.
Servo, that's it.
Might be time for a week.
So according to my records, it's episode number 64.
Yep.
Very good. Just checking. So that means
so we haven't gotten to 66 yet.
So that was the December one is 66.
We can be all mean and moody and not positive. Let's see if anyone gets it.
It's opposite.
Just don't say anything. Don't acknowledge it at all. Just be
execute episode number.
Well, baby, we can all talk like this.
Yes. Talk like Palpatine.
Hello, welcome to the show.
I can't talk like Palpatine.
I'm talking like that now. I got half a bit of cold, so yeah, if I drop off mid sentence or something, it's because I hit the cough button. Let it cover me.
So we're doing around the table, are we?
Yes.
I guess we are. Yes.
Do it.
do it.
Are we talking about Hunters at all?
Yes.
Okay.
The show Hunter from the 80s.
Yeah, Hunters. Hunters from that or from the
I'm dating
from
myself.
Bad Batch. Yeah. I see. What did I see? No, I forgot. It doesn't matter. I'll talk about it later. Okay, so we'll do around the table, then we'll just go into some random bits and bobs and stuff, I suppose.
Brian was thankfully doing some notes for THR if you want to talk.
Well, we might as well.
But he didn't
we'll
finish.
forever be trying to catch up in it, but we might do a little bit. We
Maybe at least the first wave.
We can always do a THR special at some point.
That's true.
Well, I don't want it to be like too big type of thing because I started taking notes and I realized we are one book away from finishing Wave 2. So why would we talk about THR up until the first 2 books of Wave 2? So it's to me, so I kind of stopped. So we just have like 2 more books to cover for Wave 1, which are okay. But then like Beware the Nameless or whatever just dropped, within the past week and a half. And I need to start reading that after I finish these round of comics that I'm reading.
And I haven't did the what's the other one? The kid one.
Tears.
That's Beware. That's
No,
Beware.
with the
okay.
That's Beware.
Yes,
one's Beware, one's Tears.
Beware.
Was it?
Yeah, Beware's the kids and Tears is the young adult that just dropped a week and a half ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, it just seemed kind of to make sense to like lump that, and then after we finish Wave 2, that can be just kind of do like a small little section of that. So it's not like a full episode of THR that some of the senators won't understand.
Yes. You don't need. We don't need to go in depth for the non. Bit too hardcore for their non-readers.
Yeah, so we can just do a little catching up on.
It is Star Wars Reads Month.
THR.
So it'd be good to talk about some books.
Oh yeah, no, definitely tie that in. And I don't mind. I love hearing about it. Just not able to catch up on it. But it sounds like you said phase 1, phase 2. It sounds like have they committed to how many phases there's going to be, or they're just talking in phases like that? What's the phased aspect of it all?
3.
Questions I'll have when we talk about. Okay, so they have mentioned or have said
we're in the end game.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get cracking then, shall we?
I'm ready.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Roger.
Okay. Roger. Okay. So